member of the FFA for the last 2 years. Williams' future plans include attending a college to major in business management. Landon King. Landon is escorted by his parents, Tom and Ashley King, and girlfriend, Sadie Presley. Landon is a 3-year letterman in track, a 2-year letterman in football, and a 1-year letterman in wrestling. He is a member of the Creative Kids 4-H Club and the National Honor Society. In his free time, Landon enjoys hunting and racing his sprint car. After graduation, Landon plans to go to the fire academy to become a firefighter and EMT. Wade Nisley. Wade is escorted by his parents, Doug and Brandy Nisley, brother Wyatt, and sister Whitney. Wade is a 2-year letterman in football and baseball. In his free time, he enjoys golfing and fishing. Wade's future plans include playing football at the college level while majoring in business, or possibly joining the workforce. Wesley Payne. Wesley is escorted by his parents, Brian and Sarah Payne. Wesley is a 3-year letterman in basketball and a 4-year letterman in football. He enjoys watching and playing sports, playing the guitar, and he is the owner of Front to Back Detailing. Wesley is currently attending Mount Vernon Nazarene University. After graduation, Wesley plans to move to Charleston, South Carolina, where he plans to open his own business. Carson Proper. Carson is escorted by his parents, Matt and Kristen Proper, sister Ella, and younger brother Parker. Carson is a 3-year letterman in track and football and a 2-year letterman in basketball. He is a member of the National Honor Society. After graduation, Carson plans to continue his education at Mount Vernon Nazarene University to pursue a degree in electrical engineering. Ashton Spalding. Ashton is escorted by his parents, Andrew and Shanna, his sister Autumn and Regina, and brother Colton. Ashton is a 3-year letterman in football and basketball, and a 1-year letterman in track. In his spare time, he enjoys golfing, fishing, spending time with his family. After graduation, Ashton plans to either enroll in the police academy or join the military. Kaylee Sheldon. Kaylee is escorted by her mother and stepfather, her mother and stepfather, Victoria and Kylie Reed, and Kyle Reed, father and stepmother, Nathan and Lindsay Sheldon, sister Alyssa, brother Tanner. Kaylee is a 2-year letterman in volleyball, a 4-year letterman in cheerleading, and a 3-year academic letterman. Kaylee attends the Career Center in the Health Tech Department. After graduation, she plans to go to college and continue her education in nursing. Caitlin Stevens. Caitlin is escorted by her parents, Jason and Donna Stevens, and her brother, Jonathan. She is a 4-year letterman in cheerleading. Caitlin is the president of the National Honor Society and vice president of the Student Council. Caitlin volunteers at Storyside Church in the nursery. In her free time, she likes hiking, stunting, and spending time with her family. After graduation, Caitlin plans to attend college to pursue a nursing degree. Ethan Swindle. Ethan is escorted by his mom, Monica Majors, dad, Andrew Swindles, stepmom, Jen, sister Sierra, and brother Connor. Ethan is a letterman in basketball, track, and cross country. He is a member of the Creative Kids 4-H Club, National Honor Society, and FFA. Ethan's future plans are to attend college. Elijah Adams. Elijah is escorted by his parents, Reverend Raymond and Kathy Adams. He has earned letters in band, vocal music, performing arts, and academically. Elijah is also involved in the National Honor Society, marching band, concert band, jazz band, pep band, and theater, worship team, and youth group at Greer Wesleyan Church as well. After graduation, he plans to attend Mount Vernon Nazarene University to pursue a degree in social work. Sam Lyons. Sam is escorted by his parents, Steve and Chris Lyons, and brother, looks like Owen's not there, but Sam is a 4-year letterman in band, and he has been an avid part of the band since the 7th grade. He is a member of the National Honor Society and a member of the Columbus Saints Drum Corps. After graduation, Sam plans to attend Ohio University to major in chemical engineering. Anya McCardle. Anya is escorted by her parents, Zach and Alicia McCardle, and her grandparents, Mike McCardle and Debbie Smith. Anya has earned letters in theater, performing arts, and band. Some of Anya's other interests include twirling competitively, singing and playing her guitar, 4-H, sewing, crafting, and playing the violin. After graduation, Anya wants to become a singer and songwriter while attending cosmetology school. Let's give one more round of applause for our seniors. Blue Devil Nation would like to thank you for your countless hours of hard work, your commitment to your programs, and the pride you've brought to Danville. While tonight marks the closing of one chapter, it celebrates the bright futures ahead for each of you. It is with great honor that we take this moment to applaud these former players, the men who helped build and carry forward the legacy of the Devil Dog game. Your dedication and love for these programs continues to inspire all who wear the uniform today. Let's show our appreciation once again with a heartfelt round of applause for 65 years of Devil Dog tradition. Tonight we are honored to recognize a special group of individuals who helped begin one of the greatest traditions in the state of Ohio in high school football. We are truly honored to have some of the players from the original 1960 football game here with us this evening. Let's show our appreciation and give them a warm round of applause for being part of a lasting legacy. In attendance for the Blue Devils are Bob Blueball, Bill Durbin, Ken Miller, George Fessler, Danny Durbin, and Merv Nugent representing his father, Coach Red Nugent. And from the Bulldogs, Tom Faith, Tom Purdy, Dale Veach, Carmel McFadden, Charlie Willison, Neil Bross, Bob Gaines, Colin Belts, representing Ed Rager, and Lori Golowitz, representing Owen Jones, Aaron Reidenauer, representing Stanley Crucinons, and Tammy Rogers, representing Bill Rogers. At this time, we will ask the original members from each team to march out onto the field and join this year's captains for the coin toss. East Knox has won the toss and deferred to the second half. The Blue Devils will be receiving the opening kickoff.
won't find anything better than this. Right here, Devil Dog Night, Danville, East Knox, the greatest rivalry in Ohio, is on turf for the first time ever. It is a packed house here at Tough Street. Maximum capacity is only a number. The Howard and Danville communities are out in full force, and yes, it may be cliche to say that an occasion like this is bigger than football, but hear it out. It is a flat-out lie here in this game. It has been circled in the kids' calendars ever since the Blue Devils stormed into Chet Looney in Week 10 of last season. And just like the game played an hour west of here, this game trumps any record held coming in. Both teams' seasons will be defined on the field tonight, and it's right here for your viewing pleasure, live and free on the OH Report. Next.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
And it is time for your Knox Public Health pregame show right here, live and free on the OH Report. My name is Jonathan Langdon. Peyton Colopy joins me for a special occasion, the 69th Devil Dog game, the 65th of 11-on-11 football between these two sides. Bulldogs taking on Blue Devils in what should be a great battle here in Knox County.
Yeah, these boys have been looking forward to this game all year. They do every single year. Nothing beats the Devil Dog game here in Knox County. It doesn't really matter what the record is for either team coming into this game. As far as both teams are concerned, they're 0-0. This is the beginning of the real season for them. This is always big time for Danville and East Knox.
Let's go ahead and talk about the opposition coming into Tough Street today. One of the crown jewels now of Central Ohio, Tough Street Stadium, as you just saw it. But East Knox comes in 4 losses by 10 points or less. They sit 1-8. They could easily be, do the math, that basically be 5-4 right now. It's just a very unusual year for Coach Andy Beatty and his squad.
Yeah, the 1-8 record here for East Knox does not show any bit of how good this team actually is. Obviously, coming off of a tough loss last week against Centerburg, it's never easy playing Centerburg, but East Knox 1-8 easily could be 4 or 5, could be 5-4. Season just didn't quite go their way this year.
Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the player spotlights for this East Knox team that has been spotlighted a lot in his illustrious 4-year career. Jax Lester, an all-league player as a sophomore, just surpassed 6,000 career all-purpose yards. You see his numbers down there in passing. He leads the league in that category.
Yeah, with over 1,600 yards already on the season. And this is week 10. He's got 19 touchdowns. Both of them are just insane stats. You see here the play last week where Lester actually achieved that over 6,000 yards of all-purpose yardage throughout his career. Again, congratulations to that young man. He's just a different type of athlete that East Knox got over there, and Coach Beatty is definitely was very excited for him his freshman season.
Well, you see the path on your screen as well on how they kind of got to this point. They're on a 5-game losing streak, but you look at the opposition. You've got Centerburg last week and Fredericktown. They have been on a rough stretch. Danville, actually, who we're about to talk about, played those same two teams, just flip-flopped, but 8-1s across the board. Great season also for Colonel Crawford in the Northern 10. They also boasted that kind of resume that East Knox had. They were 1-7 last week, but they were still in the playoff conversation because of who they've played.
Yeah, just the sheer secondary points that they've received throughout the year. Even though they're 1-8, the secondary points almost carry them into the playoffs. It's tough seeing a team this good only go 1-8. But again, that's just the way the cards fell this year for East Knox, and it's unfortunate.
Taking a look at the some other star players for this team, one in particular that I wanted to bring up, Kason Fawcett. These last couple of weeks, he's been starting to stack up some touchdowns. He's had a touchdown in each of the last 3 games. He is going to be a big piece to what this team does offensively as they pass the ball, as we do see the East Knox Bulldogs make their way out to the field as they're playing with house money. They do not have any sort of playoff considerations. They are mathematically eliminated from the postseason, so their one goal tonight is beat your rival.
Yeah, to them, they have no hopes at this point of the playoffs, so this is it, especially for these senior guys who've played this game their entire lives, Devil Dog game, going clear back to when they're little kids. This is their last opportunity to beat Danville. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be looking to get that final win. This class, I don't believe, has beaten Danville in their high school career. They're definitely going to be hunting for a win tonight.
Speaking of Danville, Coach Bloom in his 4th season as his team, 4-5, back-to-back weeks against the KMAC's best, just like East Knox. But they do have some playoff considerations. If they win, they will clinch a berth. We'll see if it's a home game or if it's an away game. It depends on other games across the area, but a loss could knock them out.
Yeah, a win tonight, I believe, looking at Joe Idle's website yesterday, could put them anywhere between 5th and 9th, depending on how the other teams in the region fall. A loss tonight could put them anywhere from 9th to, like you said, out. So they're definitely going to be trying to keep the season alive. Didn't go quite as well as they hoped, but they're going to be looking to make up for some lost ground throughout the regular season and the playoffs.
And there's no doubt this team is still learning things. And the main propitiatory of that is Parker Proper, who is a freshman for this team. You see his numbers. He took the reins halfway through this season, much like Asai Wallace did last year at running back. But he is ready to go, and so are those Danville Blue Devils as they are ready to storm the field here at Tough Street for what could be the final home game of the season, depending on the result here tonight. But Blue Devil Nation has shown out in a big way as here come those Danville Blue Devils out to the field for the 69th Devil Dog game. Want to welcome you back. I'm Jonathan Langdon alongside Peyton Colopy. As we get ready for kickoff, how about some keys to victory? We'll start with the home side, Danville Blue Devils. What do you think they need to do today?
Yeah, tonight for me, for Danville, the keys to victory is to keep their composure. Obviously, this is rivalry week. This is Devil Dog week. There's always a little bit of chippiness, a little bit of jawing going on down on the field. I know that very well. Playing in this game for 6 consecutive years, there's always a little bit of chip shots here and there. They have to keep their composure. Danville's been known the past couple years to get a couple personal fouls here and there. They have to keep their head to avoid those unnecessary flags. And then they have to contain Jax Lester. That's their biggest threat from the East Knox offense. They have to keep him contained and keep him basically behind the line of scrimmage.
And then my key for Danville was skill kills. Andy Beatty said it himself on a podcast they did last night, kind of a special Devil Dog edition where Coach Beatty and Bloom were next to each other in the same room talking about their own teams. Coach Beatty complimented Bloom on the fact that he knows how to get the ball to his skill players. You got to continue that trend here tonight. For the Bulldogs coming in today as the underdogs for sure. You said that the Devils need to go one-dimensional thanks to that East Knox defense. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so we all know how dangerous Danville is, especially when they're able to get both the passing and the running game going. If East Knox is able to keep them one-dimensional, keep them kind of shut down with either the passing or their running game, they have a good chance at winning tonight as long as they're able to get at least one of those assets of the Danville offense to a minimum.
And then my key also was to nickel and dime. I'm looking more offensively. We know East Knox can throw the deep ball. Can they throw those 5-10-yard passing routes to kind of elongate drives and keep the football longer than they have in weeks past? Only time will tell, as East Knox will kick off to Danville to start a special night here at Tough Street. It'll be a low squibber right at the 35, scooped up by Nolan Ridgway. He'll scamper forward for about 7 yards as we start things tonight. So the Blue Devils will be led out by their freshman quarterback, Parker Proper, just over 650 passing yards, just 5 games as a starter.
Yeah, as a freshman, it's always it's kind of bright lights in big city. No matter what game it is, you're coming out as a starter, picking up the starting spot against Loudonville. Already over 650 yards passing is a crazy stat for him as a freshman. We'll see what he's able to do here tonight with this Danville offense.
He will start the ball game under center in the I formation as he'll take the snap, give it right away to Cy Wallace, who tries to churn forward. Great job by East Knox wrapping him up as he tried to kick his way through Logan Hersenberg, the key tackle.
Cy Wallace trying to keep his legs driving there. That right there already shows you the level of anticipation that both of these teams have. Huge rivalry week. They're going to be doing anything and everything they can to help give their team an advantage. Cy Wallace keeping his legs driving, trying to get a couple extra yards, and looks like he got 5 on that play.
That's a second down and medium here as Danville already threatening for East Knox territory on that squib kick by the Bulldogs. Briggs Wallace, the man in motion. They'll shift back near side. Another handoff. This will go to Cy Wallace. Jukes one, tries to spin away. He will spin for a first down. That first down presented to you by the pub over in Apple Valley.
Just another easy inside handoff there. Danville sticking with the I formation again on that play. Looks like Danville might just be trying to ground to pound, maybe wear out some of the clock here at the start of the game.
Already a minute gone as Cy has had 2 carries, and he's got 12 yards and a first down to help this team continue to move forward. Proper for the first time tonight will head into the shotgun. 3 receivers. Wallace will move in motion again. That's Briggs, and now in for Danville at back is Nolan Ridgway. He'll get his first carry, and he'll go take it a yard.
Nolan Ridgway on the carry.
Looks like just a off-tackle counter here. Nowhere really for Ridgway to go. Able to pick up 1 yard on that, but that East Knox defensive line able to swallow him up pretty quickly.
Tackle made by, looks like it was Caden Rednauer. Number 52 in white for East Knox. He is a key piece to what they do. He had 5 tackles last week in a game where they didn't have many tackles because Centerburg ran rampant on those Bulldogs in a 59-6 win. All alone in the shotgun. Proper tucks it and runs. He had 82 yards rushing last week as he stiff arms the other quarterback, Jax Lester. And things have gotten chippy already here at Tough Street.
Big stiff arm there from Proper, kind of telling Lester, hey, you're not the only elite quarterback on the field here tonight. I'm going to come at you, and I'm going to give you everything that I got.
But to get to Lester's credit, he did bring him down. So it'll be 3rd down and looks like 4 at the 42 of East Knox.
Danville sticking with that I formation. Got 2 receivers out here to the left.
Aiden Mickley and Briggs Wallace as receivers. Back under center, Proper gives it off. Cy Wallace breaks through for another first down. He's tackled inside the 35 and some late flags.
Looks like we got 2 of them. One in the backfield here. I'm not sure what the call is for that one. I believe possibly a face mask on the tackle. We'll see what the call is here.
Danville was plagued with penalties in a game they played against Centerburg 2 weeks ago. This one's going to be called on East Knox, however, so move them even further down the field. But in that game against Centerburg that I got to see over at the Heart of Ohio, 8 penalties, 85 yards for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, again, Danville's kind of been plagued a little bit by the penalties. As you see, a holding call there from Danville. But with the face mask on East Knox, it's going to offset the penalties. So we're going to go right back to the line of scrimmage that we were just at.
And we'll redo 3rd down.
But again, Danville kind of plagued by penalties. It's definitely been something that they've had to work on all year. These kids have gotten a little better the last couple of weeks at it. But again, an early holding call here.
Yeah, right now they're just figuring out where the ball needs to go. So offsetting penalties should go right back where we were. The officials still talking about it. The ball was at about the 42. So ultimately, I imagine that's where this ball's going to land.
Yeah, I think we saw it there on the replay. Both calls, I think, were pretty clear. Good calls there by the referees.
So, yeah, those penalties offset. Ball back to the 42. We'll see 3rd down and 4 yet again. So wipe off that carry from Cy Wallace. And the freshman breaks the huddle for Danville. Chance start on both sides. It is going to be loud all night here from Tough Street. Briggs Wallace in motion again. A fake toss out to him. They'll go to Wallace near side. He is wrapped up by Boyd at the 36, but it is enough for a first down.
Looks like he's just trying to follow his fullback just through the hole here and ended up getting swallowed up by Boyd, but too little too late for the East Knox defense.
So East Knox and Danville battling it out already here early. About 4 minutes into this first quarter. All-time between these two teams. Danville leads the all-time series 44-23-1. Trivia, when was that tie?
You got me stumped on that. I have no idea.
Proper rolling out, trying to get away from the defense, but he cannot. The sack made by Logan Clark. This is a big loss, Peyton.
Huge play there by Clark. Another one of those kids for East Knox that we actually talked a lot about last week, coming up with a massive sack there in the backfield on Proper. Picking up a little bit of momentum for this East Knox defense.
Makes it a loss of 10, 2nd down and 20 with 7:30 and ticking left in the first. Blue Devils have had the ball all game long thus far. Chipping away at that clock. Shotgun will take us right to the 50 where Danville will start their next play. Snap was a little bit wide. They improvise, and Siren Wallace makes a nice catch. Gets back to past the line to gain, and this will make it third down and medium. Oh, look at this snap. It goes wide left. Nice little improvisation.
Yeah, that was it was a design throw to Wallace. Proper lucky to haul that snap in. Like you said, went a little wide left. It was still able to make the play on that. But it was definitely a little scary there for the Danville offense to start the play.
Proper gets the call from the sideline. Went 9 of 12 passing, 105 yards and a touchdown against Fredericktown. And he's facing 3rd down and 7. And he'll go to the ground. Back to Cy Wallace. Big window up the middle to the end zone. Siren Wallace gets the scoring started.
That right there is exactly what Danville needed to kind of make up for that big sack from Logan Clark a couple plays ago. Get the momentum shifted back into their favor. You see Wallace taking the handoff, and that offensive line, credit to them, just opened everything wide open. The fullback kicking out the incoming linebacker that's kind of stepping up.
It looked like Wade Nisley kind of turned into that lead blocker. That's a big fella, 6'3", 295 pounds. He helps the Blue Devil offense get on the board early. And they tick off nearly 6 minutes on this first drive.
That'd be scary seeing Nisley coming up the middle like that. That's a lot of beef moving towards you.
2-point try. Wallace jukes out one, shifts to the inside, and gets the 2-point conversion to make it 8-0. And Wallace already exploding. He scored a touchdown in last year's Devil Dog game. Here he is making a statement here at Tough Street. We'll take a break, come back live and free on the OH Report.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
And welcome back here on the OH Report. Kickoff to East Knox after a solid touchdown from Siren Wallace. Got the scoring started, and East Knox will dive on this football, and the drive will start right past the 25-yard line. So Danville takes 6 minutes off the clock. They get 8 points. And East Knox now, they love to throw the football. Do you think they can do it against this Danville secondary?
Yeah, they definitely have the weapons to be able to go deep downfield. I think you're right in what you were saying in their keys to victory about being able to nickel and dime. Obviously, Lester's made it known that he can throw the deep ball very accurately, but can they get these 5, 6, 7-yard passes on this Danville defense? So you see him drop back to pass here.
Gets a nice block to shift to the outside. He's got plenty of real estate to run it himself, and that he will do to around the 30.
Jax Lester on the carry.
So Lester gets a decent gain, makes it 2nd down. Jax Lester just as dangerous on the ground. The numbers may not show it, but he does a good job getting out of the pocket.
Yeah, that right there is what Lester's really kind of built for himself. If he's not able to throw it downfield, he's more than able to get outside of the box and make some room for himself with his legs, whether he's still trying to throw it downfield or taking off like we saw there for just looks like a 4-yard gain there for Lester.
Just over 160 yards rushing for Jax as he's going to go to the ground again. And he will be close to that first down marker, but mark him a yard short. What do you think of this early game plan, seeing Jax tried to drop back to pass, didn't see anything, then they go with the QB keeper right after?
Yeah, I think they're trying to utilize their most dangerous weapon that they have on their offense, which is Jax Lester. Trying to get him outside. Again, like I said, Danville has to keep contained. They have to keep him inside the pocket because of how dangerous Lester is.
Carson Proper on the tackle. 8 tackles last week in their game against Fredericktown. Under center. Look at this formation out of East Knox. They'll go the fullback give. Landon Boyd eaten up on 3rd down and 1.
Stuffed immediately at the line of scrimmage from number 54, Owen Gromberg, the junior.
And if you're Danville, you got to love that stand because we are likely going to see East Knox punt team make their way out onto the field.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happened. There's a lot of emotion coming from Coach Beatty over there on the East Knox sidelines. Not happy about that play.
Well, Lester's still out on the field. He is not the punter. They're going to go
Looks
for
like maybe
this.
they're going to try to get their heavy package out there. Coach Bloom calling a timeout.
Yeah, that's going to force a timeout out of Danville as they try to figure out what East Knox is up to. Maybe they were just trying to waste a timeout. We'll see if the punt team comes out after this. But Coach Beatty told me, I went down and talked to him, they have nothing to lose today. And it makes sense because you think about these two teams, what does Danville have to play for? Obviously, they want to beat their rival. Obviously, they're not solidified in a playoff spot yet, so they got to think about that as well. East Knox, all they have to do this today is they know their season's over, just beat your rival.
Yeah, for them only being 1-8, even if they win tonight, it's still going to be a good season for them because it's always a good season no matter what your record is, as long as you beat your rival. Looks like Jax Lester's coming out, and they're going to go for it. Looks like they got their heavy package in. Probably going to try that quarterback sneak we saw a couple times last week against Centerburg.
Everybody available for East Knox injury-wise, and rightfully so.
And he's stuffed immediately. Are they going to give him the spot?
They will give it first down. It was awfully close. The line to gain was the 41, and I thought I saw Lester's arm rest right at that line.
Yeah, that was awful close. That right there is one of those situations where high school coaches just wish they had the instant replay to try to.
And the chain gains have already been moved, so can't really move them back to make a spot. So the official ruling is final, and we're going to see East Knox get another set of downs here.
It looks like they might be possibly bringing the chains out to measure.
But those chains already moved. So that if they force them to move back, that could change some things.
Yeah, I think the head referee might be calling for the chains to come out to measure this. Again, he was stuffed right at that line to gain by, I believe it was Chris Mosier, the inside linebacker for Danville.
Coach Beatty pleading his case. I think he's saying the same thing I am. The chains have already moved. If you move them back, what are the odds that they're going to be in the exact same place that they should have been? And the officials
waving East Knox back.
Yeah, so they wanted to go quick, but we're going to have a slight delay here as they figure things out. And it gives us time, Peyton, to kind of reflect on last year's Devil Dog game because Blue Devils, they have won 3 straight in this rivalry. They won 36-6 last year at Chet Looney Stadium. They ran it for 316 yards on the ground for 4 touchdowns. And as I kind of put a book in that for now, they've moved the chains back, and now they're going to remeasure. What a change this would be if this ends up being short.
See what the call is here.
And it's going to be short. Danville is excited, and they call it short.
They are. It looked like 3 inches too short, and it's going to be Danville ball.
How about the turn of events? And East Knox going for it on 4th down. They initially thought it was a first down. Then the chains moved back to where they were supposed to be, and the Blue Devils get a first down.
Yeah, Coach Beatty is definitely not happy over there on the East Knox sidelines. He's out there trying to plead his case with the head referee, saying, hey, you already moved the chains up. You already moved everything forward. Why are we moving everything back now?
Well, nonetheless, Parker Proper's making his way back out to the field to lead Danville to another drive. And this will start at the East Knox 36. Change of possession. And it didn't take awful long for that Blue Devil defense to make a stand, albeit controversial. However you can get it to your offense, you'll get it to your offense. And we will see Danville in the shotgun on 1st down and 10 with 4 receivers.
Yeah, that right there just goes to show how much is at stake in these rivalry games, especially the Devil Dog game. Both teams always showing a lot of emotion. The OHSA is always very good at getting an incredible crew out here of referees. Looks like they're going to converse here in the middle of the field.
And the coaches are refusing to leave the field for East Knox on the far side.
Yeah, like I said, Coach Beatty's definitely not happy about that decision. Again, he's saying the chains were already moved up. Everything was already moving forward. My boys were ready to go, and then you just stopped the game. Coach Beatty's definitely trying to plead his case that he thinks maybe that shouldn't have happened.
Well, as they continue to chat this out, I'm going to take a second to shout out everybody watching live and free on the OH Report. A lot of Bulldog fans in our chat. Donna, Daniel, Michael, Heather, and then also Sandy cheering on the Devils along with Janet in our Facebook chat. Coach Beatty getting one last word in with that far official. Danville has broken the huddle. Here we go. 5:15 to go here in the first. 8-0 Danville. They just made a stop on East Knox on 4th down and 1, and they have a chance to explode in a big way. Could be an early 2-score lead if they can convert here on this drive. They'll go back to Cy Wallace, who scored the touchdown before he spins past the defender and wrapped up ultimately by Jax Lester down inside the 29.
Jax Lester had a handful of Cy's face mask there, and that was right in front of the referee. After a huge loss of downs right there, the emotion's starting to get to him. It's not something you want to see out of the senior.
It's almost comical looking at that screen at how close the official was to see it.
He was within a couple of inches. I mean, if he didn't make that call, I mean, you got to wonder what he was looking at. But, again, call was made, and it's going to give Danville an easy 1st down at the East Knox 15.
And, boy, if you're an East Knox fan, everything is going the Blue Devils' way as it sits right now, as they are now already in the red zone at the 15 near side hash. Shotgun again. We'll see a 4-receiver set. They have ran it most of the game thus far. Briggs moves in motion. Back to Cy they go. He'll try to hurdle a crowd that kind of formed on the ground. He is tripped up just before the 10.
Yeah, it looked like they're looking for maybe a trap play where they pull the backside guard to try to kick out the defensive tackle. Everything just kind of bunched up right in there in the middle. Looked like somebody kind of fell right in the hole that Cy was looking for. Still able to pick up 4 yards, which is good for the amount of traffic that was in front of him.
At the 11, 2nd down and 6, 4:15 and ticking left in the first quarter. Danville already up 8-0, threatening for a second score. Briggs back in motion. He's been there a lot so far this game. Under center, Proper with the fake to Wallace. They go to Nolan Ridgway. He stumbles into the end zone. 14-0 already for this Blue Devil squad. Ridgway finds the end zone for a 5th straight week.
Yeah, Ridgway kind of moved out of the quarterback spot to fill that big body running back that Danville was missing. And you see the big man getting a big score right there.
Able to break that last tackle attempt from Landon Boyd, who it came over late. And with 4:01 left, we'll see another 2-point conversion out of Danville. So this offense not having any problems so far on the East Knox defense that we saw with our own eyes last week struggle against Centerburg. And we'll see if they can get a stop, however, on this 2-point conversion. Ridgway stays as the back after his touchdown of 11 yards. It'll be a Proper keeper as he's close to the goal line, and he does get in.
Ridgway lead blocking there right up the middle for Proper. And he was wrapped up by Boyd and taken down at the 1, but he landed on top of Boyd and rolled into the end zone. Until he touches the ground, he's not down.
So Danville makes it 16-0. Not going to take a break here. We'll just chat a little bit about the first 8 minutes of this game. It's been all Danville.
It's been a wild 8 minutes. Danville obviously making that huge stop on 4th down to get the ball back into the offensive hands. And then immediately that next play, Jax Lester with a very costly face mask call there. Not the start that East Knox was looking for tonight. Coach Beatty's showing a lot of emotion already this game. East Knox has got to clean up those unnecessary penalties. They got to get their composure back that they had at the start of the game to try to get things rolling a little bit for them.
So an 11-yard touchdown run from Nolan Ridgway makes this 16-0. And the Bulldogs about to get the football back after going 4 and outs to give Danville prime field position. They've done it both times. They kicked the ball off to start this game and gave them nice field position around the 40 to start it. And then they do the same thing going 4 and out, as we said. Briggs Wallace, high kick. This will sail out of bounds, and we will see that ball get moved forward just a little bit. If you missed it, or if, of course, you're not here tonight and you're watching in your living room, it's been a special kind of occasion just as the community has rallied behind Aiden Riggle, a senior for the East Knox Bulldogs, battling adenocarcinoma, as this team has been behind him. So is the entire KMAC. You see Cardington, they had the nice decal. A lot of teams have opted for that helmet decal in honor of Aiden. And in this game, Aiden, you saw actually out on the field when they were up against East Knox. Mount Gilead had a nice tribute for them. And then Fredericktown and Centerburg as well. Just checks coming in to help fund the cancer research and the cancer kind of work for Aiden Riggle as his family kind of navigates this situation. Shot down the field, first play for East Knox on the drive. We see a flag thrown, and that'll be pass interference. This is not the NFL, so it won't be a spot foul. It'll just be 15 yards.
Yeah, it looks like Briggs may have just been doing a little bit too much face guarding. He's got to get his head turned around looking for the ball. That right there would have kept him from drawing the flag. And we saw a couple weeks ago, it doesn't have to be much of a head turn. Literally just getting your head turned a little bit over to your shoulder is enough for most of these referees. But again, there's another costly penalty for Danville, giving East Knox an easy first down and getting them into Danville's field position.
And East Knox already in Danville territory on this drive at the 45 thanks to that flag. Lester in the shotgun. First shot he has taken down the field today. They went 4 runs on their first drive. Snap to Lester. He'll give it off, and they'll go back to the ground. Boyd breaks the first tackle, and he is ganged down at the 42-yard line. But just kind of going back to Aiden Riggle, I know that you've had some great feelings about this as the season's gone on.
Yeah, Aiden Riggle, one of the seniors there for East Knox. We saw on their team picture they were kind of holding his jersey for him. Not able to make a lot of the games, a lot of the events that East Knox has had this year. But it's just been such a tremendous outpouring of support for Aiden and his family and for the East Knox program itself. It's definitely been heartwarming to see from pretty much the entire county and the entire conference.
2nd down and 6 with 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter as we're back to action. Lester fakes a throw to the left. He's got a seam to the right. As a lot of space helps him get a first down for East Knox.
That right there, Coach Beatty just keeping the ball in his athlete's hands, trying to get a little bit of extra yardage downfield, able to pick up the first down there on the Danville 32, looks like. And again, Danville not able to keep contained, and Lester making them pay for it.
So Lester using his legs early in the quarter. This is exactly what East Knox needed coming out of those 2 scores from Danville, as they'll go back to Lester, but he is blown up by Silas Miser.
Swallowed up by number 44, Silas Miser. Bit of a number change for Miser. They're using him tonight as more of a big-bodied fullback, but still holding down the interior line of that defensive front for Danville.
Just a junior. Silas going to be a big piece to what they do next year defensively. He is a top 10 tackler in the KMAC. That was tackle actually number 100 for Silas. So he hits triple digits in that category. Some other players for this defense that have had high tackle numbers. They played a lot of run-heavy teams. Chris Mosier leads the KMAC in tackles, 132. He wears number 4, and then also number 56, Jacob Byers, with 109 coming into tonight's game. Early start.
False start by Logan Hersenberg, the senior wide receiver. I think he just got moving a little too early.
Procedure against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, pretty much everybody saw it. Nice little rumble from the crowd after the fact. So move them back a couple yards. Cannot have that if you're East Knox, as you now move back to the 38 on a 2nd down and 16 situation. Two minutes now underneath it here in the first quarter. Big bunch near side, and they will shift to the left. One receiver all alone, defended by Briggs Wallace. They're going to look his way. Shot down the field, looking for the end zone, as this one tipped away. And a nice little seatbelt tug by Briggs Wallace as he makes the stop.
Yeah, that right there, Lester looking downfield immediately for him. That was a designed throw to go downfield like that. Briggs able to get his head turned around. That right there, same situation as his earlier penalty, but he got his head turned around. No flag was thrown.
So they were looking for Logan Clark, who had an explosive start to the year, as he scored 3 touchdowns week 1 when I got to see them against Northridge. And then outside of that, it's been the rest of the group. It's kind of astounding looking at East Knox and some of the statistical numbers and how even their receivers are catching the football. We'll see a timeout from Coach Beatty. But just kind of piggybacking off of that, here are bases here to show you the KMAC passing leaders. Jack's right at the top, 1,600 yards. Tanner Miley is catching up with him, but Jax, he's been the primary ball thrower this season in the league.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, he's got so many assets that he can throw to. Throwing a lot to Case and Fawcett here as of late. Logan Clark picking up the 3 touchdowns you said week 1 of the season. He's got a lot of weapons that he can throw to deep downfield, and you can see 4 out of the 5 top receiving
absurd,
leaders in KMAC are all Bulldogs.
That is one of the coolest graphics I've made this year, especially if you're a Bulldog fan, just seeing the overall spread of the love when it comes to Jax Lester and how he's been able to really find anybody that has been able to get open. You got to give credit to the receiver room as well, because that doesn't just happen overnight. You've got to be good at getting yourself into space and just being available for your
right,
quarterback.
and not all those guys are upperclassmen. Rush Beatty, you saw on there, is 5th in the conference. He's only a sophomore, so he's got a lot of extra experience he's able to pick up the next couple of years.
3rd down and 16, ball in the 38, as this ball is going to go short, and a late flag here thrown. We'll see what that's all about, as this will be 4th down territory for East Knox, but we'll see what the flag's all about. If it is a hold, we could see Coach Bloom opt to decline it, or they could take it and move him back 10 yards. Illegal man downfield.
That just a little slip screen there. Obviously, those screen plays, you want to try to get your linemen downfield a little bit to get them a little extra blocking up front. But it's on the receiver at that point to catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage. That right there is what makes that play legal. Obviously, he didn't catch it behind the line of scrimmage. The referee is able to catch that, and it's going to bring up a huge 4th and 12 for East Knox. Another situation that Coach Beatty did not want to be in right now.
Yeah, Coach Bloom declined the penalty. He's done that numerous times this season when he's had a situation where they could pin some teams back more yards, but he's just going to take this 4th down and 12 and see what East Knox can do with it. Lester, a high snap, picks it up. Rush from the right side. It collapses in on Jax, and the Blue Devils make another stand.
Hit initially by number 15, Ashton Spalding, and then Owen Gromberg, and really the rest of that defensive front for Danville. You see Jacob Byers getting his hand on that sack as well. Huge play for the Danville defense. Already 2 East Knox drives and 2 huge stands by the Danville defense.
And East Knox certainly was helped by a penalty flag getting down the field, but once they finally got set in their offense, Danville felt right at home.
Yeah, it seemed as soon as they got into Danville territory, maybe Danville kind of felt a little bit of heat from the incoming goal line, and they definitely wanted to get away from that.
Nolan Ridgway late onto the field. He's going to be the back for Parker Proper. First play of the next drive. This is the third drive of the night from Danville. They are a perfect 2 for 2 hitting the end zone. Proper on the fake to Ridgway. Follows him as a lead blocker. Gets it about 4 yards up the field.
Yeah, Ridgway, maybe since he came out on the field a little late, maybe didn't quite catch what the call was. He was just going and trying to hit somebody there, trying to find somebody to block for Proper.
Tackle made by Caden Riddenauer, who is the second leading tackler in the KMAC.
You see Proper there on the sidelines. Now with Ridgway coming out as the linebacker.
And they will take this down to about 20 seconds left in the first. We'll see the second timeout from Danville in the half, as this first frame has been all Danville. But what do you think the kind of motion is here to use 2 of your 3 timeouts in the first half?
It's definitely not a situation that Coach Beatty wanted to be in. We saw Danville in this situation a couple of weeks ago, having to use pretty much all of their timeouts, nearly all of them in the first quarter. It's a tough situation to be in as a coach, especially as a head coach in the Devil Dog game. Coach Beatty's going to have to try to get this offense rolling so they can get some points on the board before the end of the half. It's just going to be a little bit harder now that he's out of timeouts.
Shout out to Sue joining our comments section, cheering on Danville tonight. And then also shout out to David Springer. Let's go East Knox, Knoxville, Poland for Rush Beatty. Let's just talk about the fact, well, first of all, over 300 of you watching live and free here on the OH.REPORT. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, as we are back ready to go. After the second timeout of the day, we see Nolan Ridgway take a shotgun snap for a first down. He's in East Knox territory just barely.
Nolan Ridgway on the carry.
Yeah, it looked like maybe they were maybe just trying to get Proper off the sidelines a little bit, just do a little design run with Ridgway, get Proper a little breather, because he has been so far doing so much for this Danville offense. But as we see Proper coming back out as the quarterback and Ridgway going onto the sidelines here.
Well, Nolan, he was told heartbreaking news from Coach Bloom halfway through the season that they were going to go in a different direction. But they have not gone away from him entirely. In fact, ever since he had that conversation with Coach Bloom, he's gotten touchdowns in every single game. So as a running back, he has been huge. As we go to the end of the first quarter, we will take our break. It's 16-0 Danville, live and free on the OH Report.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
16-0 in favor of Danville. As we start things, we flip sides of the field. Danville will move left to right on your screen as they are on their third drive of the day. Look at these dance moves from Cy Wallace to get a first down. He's at the 35 where he's ripped down. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah, Cy was initially touched, looked like 2 yards deep in the backfield, able to spin out of that and then just had nothing but green turf in front of him, able to pick up a huge gain. They finally caught up to him. Looks like Boyd there finally grabbed hold of his jersey to slow him down, but still, again, not after Cy got at least another 3 or 4 yards after that contact from Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd just had 3 tackles last week against Centerburg, but I feel like he's already met that total today. He's been all over this Danville running attack, as he has needed to be, because they've gotten past the second level numerous times. Under center, Proper here for first down and 10. Ball on the Danville, or the East Knox 35. Rolling to his right. Throw on the run for Briggs Wallace.
Complete pass to Briggs, but there's a flag backside right around the line of scrimmage. Typically when you see those flags thrown at the line of scrimmage, it's a holding call on Danville.
And that's exactly what it is. It's always dangerous when you kind of have those plays where your quarterback's rolling out to the right and those linemen kind of have to shift alongside and hold a block.
Yeah, I saw right when the referee threw the flag. I saw the penalty that he threw there. It looked like maybe the East Knox defensive lineman was just tripped up, but the referee didn't think so, pulled the flag, and took him back. We're looking at 1st and 20 here for Danville.
(11:17) clock stopped for now. Left here in the second. Proper all alone in the backfield. Bulldogs will send 5 rushers. It'll be a short screen for Cy Wallace. Jukes out one, gets past the original line of scrimmage. Another flag thrown. So it's a 5-yard gain for now, but more laundry for Danville.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that penalty. See what the call is. Looks like a block in the back on Danville.
So move them back even more. These penalties continuing to plague Danville. Fortunately enough for them, they already lead in this one 16-0. But in a Devil Dog game, you got to keep your foot on the pedal because it's never really a lock.
Yeah, those screen plays, as a lineman, when I was in school, running those screen plays was always a little scary because you always have everybody with your back turned towards you, and you just hope that they turn around right at the last second, right before you go to lay down the block. Obviously, that didn't happen there. The ref threw the flag and pushed them back even further, back into their own territory, their own 45-yard line.
1st down and 30, folks. We're going to go right back to Wallace. He's eaten up even more losses of yards. Cam Muncie makes the tackle in the backfield.
And Muncie, the 5'10", 190-pound freshman, coming in and swallowing Wallace up as soon as he touches the ball.
It's a 12-on-12 crime, and East Knox makes it now 2nd and 34. Or as one of my good friends, the Centerburg PA announcer, would say, 2nd down and Nurk. You ever heard that?
I don't think I have ever heard that. I didn't even catch that whenever we were over at Centerburg a couple weeks ago.
So 2nd down and extremely long for Danville as they've got 3 receivers all in the near side. Another screen play as they're going to give this to Aiden Mickley. This is their big play star, who is just a junior for this group. Gets past the 45. Decent gain to make it 3rd down, and I don't want to say manageable because it's going to be 3rd down and 16, but it's much better than 34.
Yeah, that right there is a play they needed a couple plays ago to continue the drive. It's definitely going to be a little harder now. It's still only 3rd down, so they still have a fairly decent chance with the line to gain being the 25-yard line.
Official ruling 3rd down and 18. Just above 10 minutes left here in the second quarter. 16-0 Danville. Ball at the 43 of East Knox, back in enemy territory for Danville. Briggs Wallace will shift up the defense with his motion, and they're going to part the sea for Parker Proper, who makes it 4th and manageable, just shy of the 30.
Yeah, that offensive line for Danville just bullied and moved everybody out of their way. Proper didn't have anybody near him until he was already past the original line of scrimmage. The PA announcer just announced 4th down and 6 for Danville. And you see Ridgway back in at quarterback here. See if they're going to go with another design run to the quarterback like they did before, or maybe give Ridgway a little chance to show off his arm a little bit, which we haven't seen in the past couple weeks.
You saw Proper on the sideline. 4th down as Ridgway will keep it himself. He's got some space. He'll shift it inside, and he will be gang tackled forward down to the 11-yard line. So a 4th down conversion, the first of the night for Danville. as they're in business in the red zone.
Yeah, that right there, just a simple lead play there. You had Parker Proper, the older of the two Proper brothers, leading him, or correction, I'm sorry, Carson Proper, the senior, leading him through the line of scrimmage there to pick up a huge first down for Danville, as we saw him back at 2nd and 34. Now 1st and 10 inside the red zone.
Yeah, my mistake, it's a 17-yard line. Well, they'll set up here. Under center again, Proper, RPO, lob to his brother, just off the target. They scored a very similar touchdown like that in their last home game against Cardington. Just cannot connect. They had it.
Yeah, it was there. If Carson was just a couple inches taller, he would have been able to drag that in for another brother-to-brother touchdown. But
I mean, you can't ask a 6'1" guy to grow a couple inches. He's already tall enough. You got to hit that target.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not a freshman like his brother. He doesn't really have much extra room to grow.
Wallace shifts again. Back to Cy. Cy tackled by 2. Inside the 15.
Danville going back to that I formation, trying to muscle their way into the end zone.
So make it 3rd down with 8.5 to go. To be 3rd and 6 on the 13-yard line of East Knox. Near side hash they will work. On the boundary side, Mickley and Briggs Wallace. Nobody on the field side as a receiver. Wallace will move over that way, however. Back to Cy they will go. He's got plenty of speed to get past that line for East Knox. It's another touchdown for the sophomore.
Yeah, Cy had just a little bit of tug there on the back of his jersey. That's not going to be enough to bring down Zoom Wallace on this play. Just it's an outside counter, outside handoff here. Able to cut up from his lead blocker, Silas Miser, the fullback. Able to kick out the defensive end there, and Cy just kind of walked into the end zone there.
So Cy breaks contain, gets his 2nd touchdown of the day. It's 22-0. Blue Devils are 2 for 2 on those 2-point conversions. They'll try another one here. Silas Miser in as a fullback. Cy Wallace in the backfield yet again. Here's a give to Silas Miser. He's going to bully his way in.
I was just about to say, you got to wonder if Coach Bloom's going to give the ball to the big man. And right there they do, getting him into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
So he does his job. It makes it Danville 24, East Knox nothing. Dream start if you are Coach Bloom and these Danville Blue Devils. Let's go ahead and kind of stay here for a moment. We do want to highlight something else that happened pregame today. As you see on your screen, the 1960 squad that started this whole Blue Devil and Bulldog showdown 60 years ago in 11-on-11 action. A couple of their members were here tonight, and they went up and were involved in the coin toss.
Yeah, it's nice to see in the sort of OGs to this Devil Dog rivalry. Mr. Bob Blueball for Danville playing in that first 11-man Devil Dog game. I believe he may have been a freshman or sophomore that year. I could be wrong on that. He always talks about the Devil Dog game. It's always his favorite game of the year. It's definitely special seeing all these guys back out on the field tonight.
I mean, did you see some of those jerseys? I can imagine those guys walking out there with. I mean, I'm looking at our replay return. Number 41 in that clip, that's what they wore. And they didn't have much padding either.
Those long-sleeve jerseys were definitely worn back then, but that's the style of the jersey there. You see the kickoff from Danville, scooped up by number 13, Cason Fawcett. Not really anywhere for him to go.
So East Knox back out on the field. Their offense has to figure something out because this is teetering on the end of a blowout because one more score and all of a sudden we're in a running clock situation in the second half.
Yeah, Danville showing, hey, we know you got weapons. We know you're going to try to use Lester a lot. You're going to have to do something more than just try to rely on Lester. They got to try to get something opened up into space as they come out in a tight formation on the right. Looks like they got a tight end and a tight trips.
And Logan Clark will move in the midst of them. Takes it to the field side. They're looking his way. Another deep ball down the field. Wallace versus Clark. And Briggs makes another stop. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Look at this defense from the Danville secondary, who was one of my keys coming into the game. And Briggs, that's 2 deflections now.
Yeah, 2 deflections, 3 straight deep balls thrown to Briggs that he's able to break up. Obviously, we saw the first one, a flag getting thrown on him on that one. But he's definitely made up for it on those last 2 deep balls thrown his way. Lester kind of using his arm a little bit, trying to bring some life back into this East Knox offense. So far, it has not worked with the deep ball.
On the East Knox 31, Landon Boyd will shift, threaten to screen. They're not even going to get the ball away as Gronberg gets the sack.
Yeah, Gronberg came into the backfield completely untouched from the backside of the defensive line and just swallowed up Lester immediately.
So from last season, the All KMAC honorable mention makes another nice play. Last week, 2 tackles for loss, had 11 tackles. I was towards the top of the team. Gronberg, he was also named our good friends over at Super Q. They have their area teams. He was honored on that as well. Great season for Gronberg, along with Silas Miser, a defensive line that is going to have a lot of juniors come back and have some juice heading into next year.
Yeah, Coach Duncan's definitely excited about that defensive front coming back. As you see a timeout here taken by East Knox. But again, Owen Gronberg and Silas Miser, both being juniors as well as Tyson Payne, a lot of experience they're getting out of this season. Getting a little bit of a heartbreak with how the season's gone, so they're going to be using that as fuel for next season. But again, these guys have just shown up and shown out all season long, and they're going to definitely be using that experience and that strength and knowledge base that they've built this season to better their careers next year and hopefully have a better outing.
24-0 Danville as we sit in this timeout. Both teams with 1 to go here today. As cheering on Art is Life, commenting on YouTube. Watching from Florida, cheering on Wyatt McDowell. And Epic Florida, you can do it. Not sure which direction you're going there, but both of these teams have shown that they can do it here tonight. But Danville with that 24-0 lead and threatening to get another stop here on East Knox. And 3rd down and 18 after the sack by Gronberg, loses 8 yards for those Bulldogs. Empty backfield for Jax Lester with 4 receivers to work with. Lester gets a nice pocket. He'll shuffle past the line of scrimmage. He's going to take it himself. Takes a big hit from Ridgeway. And this will be 4th down and about 8.
Yeah, the pocket that the offensive line kind of created for him collapsed almost as perfectly as it was formed. Again, Lester taking a huge shot from Ridgeway, trying to come up the middle, bringing up a 4th and 8 for East Knox, and they're going to bring out their punt team here.
So the first punt of the day from either side will come from Carver Stevens, who is towards the top in the KMAC in punting. Gets a nice one here with 2 returners, the Wallace brothers. This time Briggs will take it. He's going to use his speed, get near side right at the 50. And the Blue Devils will start in East Knox territory on this next drive.
Looks like we got a couple late flags down here on the field. Not sure what the call is here. Referees are going to converse on what was seen. Waiting for the signal from the head referee here.
Well, it was going to be great field position for Danville. Now we'll see if that flag does indeed go on the Blue Devils. And it looks like I saw one official pointing that direction. So Blue Devils will be in their own territory to start this next drive. However, that hasn't seemed to faze them yet because they are 3 for 3 scoring on their drives.
Yeah, another block in the back for Danville is going to push them back. Looks like it's going to bring them back to their own 40-yard line maybe. Obviously, Coach Beatty is going to accept that penalty to try to give his defense a little breathing room to hopefully make a stop here. But again, Danville rolling with such efficiency tonight that it may not even matter where they start on the field. They're going to score.
They'll start out with trips near side here on 1st down and 10 as Proper sits in the shotgun. Wallace to his right. He'll go with the screen back to Mickley, his second catch of the day of the same variety as a 1st down. So they've used him twice on screens now.
Yeah, Wes Payne, number 2, laying down a really good block there on the outside on Logan Hersenberg, the defensive back for East Knox. And then Aiden Mickley just using that big body and that strength that he built up over the offseason to kind of shove everybody forward.
Mickley's that big play threat, leads the team in yards per catch at 15.5, and there gets about 13 to make it 1st down. Actually, he'll give them 14 on the gain. Under 6 minutes to go, halfway through the second quarter. Danville leads 24-zip over East Knox. Blue Devils fighting to go 500 on the regular season. Also still not secured a playoff spot. They could also secure a home game here. Long shot down the field. Wes Payne makes the catch. It's a touchdown for the senior who scored last year in this Devil Dog game.
Huge play there. It was really a great pass from Proper to Payne, but we have a flag. It looks like an illegal man downfield. Another costly penalty for Danville.
Take the points off. Payne has been quiet these last couple of weeks, and we just saw him explode and all of a sudden take it off. It's a flag. I was about to say he had not made a catch against he had not made a catch since week 7 against Cardington.
I thought maybe if there was a flag on that play, it could have potentially been maybe offensive pass interference on Payne, as you saw him kind of have to battle his way to that reception. But obviously the ref saw something a little further backfield and erasing those huge points that would have definitely helped pat Danville's lead here tonight.
And to kind of emphasize with Coach Bloom, this is week 10 and this is happening. Still got to figure out those flags if you do make the postseason. Proper taking a shot down the field, looking for Briggs. This will be short thrown and intercepted at the 30 by Jax Lester.
Yeah, Proper didn't really have much of a pocket there. Cy Wallace a little too deep downfield, bumping into Proper, and then it looks like Proper was just trying to make up those yards that they lost in the penalty, trying to force a throw in. Lester able to pick it off.
And there's that underclassman mistake. It's his 7th pick of the year. That equals the number of touchdowns he has thrown this year. So as great as he's been, there's been those moments where he's kind of faced some pressure and he's, instead of maybe throwing it away, he's kind of forced some things, and that has resulted in turnovers.
And that right there, he's got to learn to be able to know when to throw it away, when to tuck it and hold it, and that'll come with time.
Landon Boyd will start the next drive on the ground for East Knox. It'll be a gain of 2. So the Bulldogs, they get this turnover, and you got to feel confident about them because I talked to Coach Beatty on the field. He feels great about how this offense has moved the ball down the field. They haven't given it away. They haven't had any fumbles or interceptions in quite some time. They didn't have any last week. But then you get to the situation where you just simply cannot get to the 1st down marker, and could potentially see that trend continue.
And that right there, it just comes down to execution. We saw him move the ball a little bit last week against Centerburg, but tonight so far it hasn't worked out.
Lester will go with a shorter throw. This one right on the money to Logan Clark for the 1st down. And that's what I'm talking about. Nicklin and Diamond, they've taken so many shots down the field when they could do that, and it seems to work perfect.
Yeah, that was just a quick, looked like a 5 or 6 yard inside slant to Clark, catching Carson Proper out of position.
So they've targeted Clark now 4 times. That is his first catch today. Clark's starting to have a solid day on both sides. He also had a sack on the defensive end. This ball spilled, still on the ground. A bunch of Blue Devils dive for it, but it looks like Boyd got back on the football.
Ball's on the ground, recovered by the Bulldogs.
Looked like maybe just a mishandled handoff here.
Yeah, it didn't even get to Boyd as Lester bobbled it.
Yeah, I think Lester maybe just didn't quite have his hands on it before he was looking to give it to Boyd. Again, Boyd able to fall on it, but that kind of takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails that they just picked up with that last throw to Clark.
3.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Both teams with a timeout to go. Bulldogs in search for something here in this first half with an offense that hasn't looked awful, but they need to get to the line to gain more often. This ball caught right at the 50. Nice hit by Danville to knock him down not too far. After making the catch, Dakota Cooper gets him to the Danville 49.
Yeah, it looked like he was hit almost as soon as he touched the ball. Good on him holding on to it all the way through the catch there.
We'll get a nice break after that catch. He missed the last 2 weeks of action against the best two teams in the KMAC. As with 2:55 to go, Danville will call their final timeout. But Dakota Cooper getting back into the swing of things. Of course, you don't want to miss Devil Dog, especially when you're a player like Dakota Cooper. East Knox, I don't think they have anybody out today. They've got everybody ready to go for a Devil Dog game that is going to be a barn burner regardless of the score, because it's going to be physical throughout all 48 minutes. Because these two teams, they had this circled all season in their calendar. The only player I can think of that is out with injury in this game is Bryson Burke, who sits on the sidelines, and he was reevaluated a couple weeks ago for Danville, and he will only be available this season if they do go on a deep playoff run yet again. So your heart hurts for Bryson, because he was looking forward to this year as a sophomore being a key tight end to what they do.
Yeah, Cooper able to come back in a kind of a strong way here at the Devil Dog game. Again, we get Burke on the sidelines. See Lester drop back to pass here.
And he'll take a throw long down the field. High one and intended for Fawcett. There's a late flag
there's
thrown.
The flag. I kind of thought the flag was going to come in there. Wes Payne was just a little early on the contact there.
High toss just to try and get it right into the breadbasket of Fawcett, and Payne probably going to get called for that contact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that right there. He should have just turned his head looking for the ball. Instead, it looked like he may have missed time to when the ball was coming in. But, again, he's got to hold off on making contact just a little longer, and that flag wouldn't have been thrown.
Looking elsewhere on the OH report, second quarter, Golden Knights up 19-13, Northmore over Loudonville.
At the 34-yard line.
We'll jump back to that here in a moment, as it's now first down and 10, under 3 minutes to go. Clock stopped at 2:45. Ball on the Danville 34 for East Knox as they're surging down the field. Lester takes the snap, immediately runs to his right. Does not have much, and a lot of Blue Devils there to make it a big loss for East Knox. I mean, look at this crowd of black just take over the screen.
Yeah, it looked like they were just trying to run a stretch play there. Kind of tripped up Wes Payne there on the slight juke move, but Chris Mosier able to come in and kind of lift Lester off his feet, kind of drive him out of bounds there.
Chris Mosier, while the record may not show it, has been a great replacement for Josh Byers, who is now going to play at Ashland University. He's redshirting this year for the D2 program. But Chris, he is also a junior who is getting valuable lessons taught to him through this 4 and 5 season. We'll see what they can do with it next year. But we continue on with this Devil Dog game as Lester does not have a window, and right on cue, Chris Mosier.
Yeah, Ashton Spalding keeping fairly decent contain there, staying right in Lester's back hip, but Mosier coming up. And again, you said filling in for the loss of Josh Byers from last season. Mosier definitely learned a lot from last season from Josh and the rest of that Danville starting unit from last season. And he's just really shown out this whole year. He's been a huge part of what is this Danville defense's success.
Bulldogs quickly out to the line. 5 seconds to go in the play clock. They've got to get something out. Third down and 17 with 1:20 to go. They do get the snap off. Here we go. Long shot down the field. Looking for Wallace. Or pardon me, looking for Fawcett. This is dropped. And it's another nice breakdown by Briggs Wallace.
Yeah, Fawcett had it in his hands for just a second there, but Briggs able to get his arm in at the last second to knock the ball away.
I mean, these balls from Jax Lester are on the money. It's just the defense.
I mean, yeah, that was just a little behind Clark. Not really what you want to see. But, again, Lester's passes are just so beautiful going deep downfield. And Briggs, like I said, able to get his arm in at the last second there to break it up.
Minute 13 to go. Clock stops on the incompletion. 4th down and 17. If the Blue Devils get the ball back, they would start at their own 41. Bulldogs trying to keep that from happening. Collapsing pocket, Lester breaks off one, steps back, gets a nice block for some sort of space, has to throw it late, throws it up, Boyd makes a catch, and he is about 2 yards short of the first down marker. How about that 4th down sequence? You're going to see also, Jax took a big shot after throwing this. There was no flag thrown.
Yeah, he swallowed up almost immediately, but able to slip it out from Owen Gromberg. Gromberg able to get up and recover and lay a huge hit on Lester. He got up a little slow on that play, so it definitely hurt just a little bit. But Boyd with a huge catch, able to make a little bit out of nothing, but still just a little too short and giving the ball right back to Danville with a minute left in this first half.
It's one of those plays. It was almost too good for you as a Danville team to take the ball back after they're able to execute something like that, but it was 2 yards short. So it's a turnover on downs, unfortunately for East Knox. Danville has the ball with 59 seconds left, no timeouts to their disposal. We will see what the Blue Devils decide to do as they are in shotgun with 3 receivers. They'll give it off to Wallace first. He reverses course, and this could be chaotic, but he is going to use his speed to get back to the line of scrimmage. Or maybe not, just a loss of 1. The clock will roll down, and looks like Danville might take this to the half.
And I'm not quite sure what I saw on this. Maybe he just saw a big wall of white there in front of him trying to reverse field.
I think he just likes playing in the field rather than the boundary because he's got more room to kind of shuffle around. And he feels kind of comfortable right now in a 3-score lead, and you know that if it doesn't work out, you're just going to run the clock out.
And that could be it. We've seen him kind of draw the opposing team in a little further to make a miss. That's something he's kind of done a lot this season.
Briggs Wallace in motion. They'll give it to the freshman, and then a nice reverse to Aiden Mickley. 6 seconds left here in the quarter. Mickley will trip up with 3 seconds to go. Clock will stop with a first down.
Hit some fairly decent open field in front of him. It's a false start on Danville. Looks like the flag was thrown on the backside of the field over there.
But they let the play go on.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't call it dead right from the get-go.
But with the ball movement, the clock will roll here soon enough. And make sure to stick around on the OH.REPORT. We'll have your bands performing here for halftime. And there goes the clock. They're coming up right away. We head to half here from Tough Street, and it's been all Danville. 24-zip over East Knox, looking to make it 4 straight Devil Dog wins. And this one would be right here at home in their new and improved Tough Street Stadium.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
band would like to open with a song originally done by Bruno Mars and Rose. Here is APT. With their version of a song done in 1979 by Sister Sledge. Here is We Are Family. Show very appropriately with the Lady Gaga hit tonight with their version of hit Just Dance, featuring a dance designed and led by our seniors of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Bulldog Band of Pride.
Let's give another round of applause for the East Knox Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mr. Andrew Gosio, we're proud to present the Danville High School Blue Devil Band! Folks, we're giving it to them old school tonight with a chart from 1979, the driving bass line and the horns that are sure to rock your world. Blue Devil Band is opening our senior show with the Marching Band Classic. Be sure to catch senior Sam Lyons laying it down on the snare drum. Here's Tusk by Fleetwood Mac. A little mystery, a little groove, and a whole lot of attitude with their performance of a cult classic made famous by the Crayons and revived by a whole new generation of fans watching the TV show Wednesday. Featuring senior twirler Annie McCardle, this spooky rock favorite will have you moving in your seats. So sit back and get ready to rock and enjoy the sounds of the Blue Devil Band performing Goo Goo Muck. high-powered hit combines rock and rhythm in an unforgettable way. And tonight, it features a special spotlight performance by senior trumpet soloist Bebo Adams. Get ready and make some noise for Blue Devil Band, because we want to dance like Uma Thurman!
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
And welcome back here on the OH Report. Time for your Knox Public Health halftime show here live and free from Tough Street Stadium. Danville leads it 24-0 over East Knox. As so far, I was kind of talking about it with a few people in the press box here during the band shows. It's a case, I would say, of good offense by East Knox. They're putting some good balls out there on the field, but it's better defense right now from Danville.
Yeah, I think Lester's definitely been kind of on it tonight, throwing the ball. As you see him here warming up tonight, throwing some deep balls to finish up his warm-up. But again, good passing by Lester. It's just the Danville defense has just been a little too good for him.
As you see him throwing some warm-up balls here, as they're going to need that arm in the second half if they want to come back in this game. We're going to go ahead and give you a look at Division 7, Region 27. We know that Danville is competing for a playoff spot, and right now they sit at that 10 seed on the right side of your screen. They would play Strasburg on the road, but with how jumbled up and how tight that region is, this is very tentative and probably will be very different when the tournament draw comes out tomorrow. I do want to preface and say I do know that Lucas has the wrong logo. That was a mistake on my part, but they are right now are sitting as one of the first two out.
Yeah, Lucas, they had a pretty decent season so far. Right now up pretty big on Crestline. I believe the last time we looked it was 30-0, I believe. Could be wrong in saying that. But again, Lucas, one of the first two out, they still have a chance to sneak their way into the playoffs. Danville looking to keep their playoff spot alive and hoping to jump up into the top half of that bottom 8 to get a home playoff game.
But Danville fans, for the next portion of this, may not be happy with me claiming this, but in this region, you look at all those teams, it's Hillsdale's to lose. You just got to feel.
Yeah, I mean, the amazing season that they had last year, virtually losing none of their starters from last season, have basically their entire team from last season brought over into this year, and they've just been running over everybody.
I believe they lost a right tackle and Brady Critchbaum, and that is it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They have all their athletes back. Their starting quarterback is a junior now, I believe, maybe a sophomore, and he's just been putting up video game numbers all year. That Hillsdale team is just ridiculously talented.
Taking it back out to the field as we hit the third quarter. Danville started with the football. They will kick it off to East Knox. So as the Bulldogs, you have that at your disposal. Back to return Logan Clark. He has been looked upon numerous times in the deep ball game from Jax Lester. He has not been able to connect on any of those long shots. He does have a catch, however, for 20 yards that he had on a slant earlier on in the game. Briggs Wallace, he will start us off with a squibber that lands at the 32, will roll all the way out of bounds. There will be a flag thrown, and we will move this up the field momentarily. But East Knox, of course, talking about Jax and how good his balls have been down the field. But outside of that, there's a little bit of blame to go on the run game that hasn't been established quite yet.
Yeah, they haven't gotten anything going with the running game. That interior defensive line of Danville just really clogging up the entire line of scrimmage, really kind of enforcing their will upon this East Knox offensive line. As you see East Knox coming up to the line of scrimmage here to get this second half started. That Danville defensive front is just it's shown to be a little too much for that East Knox offensive line.
It'll be at the 35-yard line where the Bulldogs start things here today, as they will start to try and establish that run game with Boyd, who stumbles forward for 2.
Looked like Jacob Byers came in and maybe a little bit of delayed blitz, able to trip him up. The rest of the Danville defense kind of just falling on top of him. But East Knox has to get that running game established so they can open up those deep passes to Logan Clark and Kason Fawcett to try to get some type of offensive momentum rolling.
2nd down and 8 on the 37 with 11.5 to go here in the third, as we have just started the second half. You're just joining us here back after the end of the first. Welcome back, Jonathan Langdon alongside Peyton Colopy. Your camera operator today is Brandon Powell, as this ball goes up to the 42. This will make it 3rd down and 3.
Another hard carry there by Boyd. Boyd we talked about a lot last week. Definitely kind of established himself as the #1 runner here for East Knox. But again, he's been kind of shut down pretty much the entire night as East Knox comes up to the line of scrimmage for a 3rd and 3. Big 3rd down play here.
Lester in the shotgun. Big crowd at the offensive line. This ball will be given up, and the Blue Devils make another stand. Chris Mosier looked to have made the first contact.
Yeah, it looks like he was hit there by 2 Blue Devils, Mosier and Jacob Byers. And you see Silas Miser coming in there at the end to help clean everything up. Another big stand by the Danville defense. Looks like East Knox might be going for this again.
Yeah, it seems like at this point they kind of have to. 2 minutes already down in the third quarter. They're down 3 scores. Another score from Danville makes it a running clock. So this is kind of your desperation mode as you try to stay in this Devil Dog game. That historically have been tight. This week and last year have been different stories, however. Lester down the field, going to the deep target again.
And
this time it's
got
caught.
Clark finally able to get that connection going.
So Logan Clark helps out the offense, gets them down into Danville territory at the 26. That's a pub first down.
Again, solid defense there by Briggs. Clark just a little too tall for Briggs, kind of goes over top of his head there to haul on that pass. And that right there is what Lester's been looking for all night to get this offense rolling.
9.5 to go in the third. 3 receivers near side. Clark right by the sideline towards us as he's one-on-one with Wallace. They'll go on the ground. Lester, how did he break out of that pack? He's got a first down and an entourage to the end zone. East Knox is on the board early in the third.
And he was stuffed immediately at the line of scrimmage. It didn't really look like anybody had a good handle on him. And then Lester was able to look upfield. You see the replay here. Yeah, I don't think anybody really had a good hand on him. And then there was just nobody out in front of Lester. He's just able to waltz right into the end zone.
So Lester breaks away. Does a great job. Credit to the officiating crew not marking him down with forward progress because no Blue Devils were touching him. It was just him rubbing up against the offensive line. And that makes it 24-6, 2-point conversion on the way. This is crucial here if you're East Knox. Lester, RPO throwing near side. This one bobbled and dropped by Logan Hersenberg.
Yeah, Lester just kind of trying to fire that fastball into Hersenberg. Obviously, Aiden Mickley there on the coverage.
So you had to get all of those 2-point conversions to make it a 2-score game and still a 3-score game.
Yeah, they definitely needed that 2-point conversion there. It's a slightly more manageable now that they have a little bit of momentum on their side with that big play from Lester and the huge catch from Logan Clark. But again, 24-6, it's hard to come back from that, even though it's still only 3 minutes into the second half.
So the Bulldogs will kick it back off to Danville in a 24-6 game after that touchdown run from Jax Lester. Jax has not had to use his legs too often, just his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. He's getting close to 200 yards rushing on the year, and most of it's come today.
Yeah, he's one of those kind of dual threat quarterbacks that really hasn't had to be the dual threat quarterback. He's been able to kind of sling the ball downfield a little bit, able to hand it off to the running backs that have had pretty decent success this year.
Arm up from Carver Stevens, who will kick it right up the middle of the field. This ball scooped up and taken in by Wes Payne. I thought his knee was down. We continue on, and he's got some space past the 50. Let's go ahead and take a look all the way back at the start of this play, because I thought Wes's knee was down. I want to see what you think.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing too. Looks like if it was down, he was able to get it off the ground before picking up the ball. Kind of stuttered there a little bit to see what kind of running room he had. Able to find it on the opposite side of the field and get a pretty decent return all the way into Bulldog territory.
Parker Proper back out on the field for the first time, the freshman with an empty backfield. All of the skill players to the far side of the field. Fake toss to Wallace. Proper keeps it and cannot get back to the line of scrimmage thanks to Rush Beatty.
Yeah, that right there just kind of looks like an option play for Proper. Looks like he kind of had his decision to make. He ended up keeping it, thought he had some room going upfield, but Beatty coming in making a big tackle there for a 1-yard loss.
So you see the cast on the right arm of Rush Beatty. He actually broke his hand a couple weeks ago, but that was not going to keep him out of this Devil Dog game, especially with it being the last game of the year. He wants to make sure he's available.
He's going to do everything he can to make sure this Bulldog team can get a win.
Wallace back with the football, 2 touchdowns in the first half, and he put some dance moves on the secondary inside the 30 at the 27. But just the stutter steps here, and he follows a blocker as well nicely.
Yeah, just a simple trap play right up the middle to Wallace. You saw the guard pull to the play side to kind of open up the line of scrimmage there. And then following Silas Miser, the now fullback, kind of leading him up through the hole there for a huge game all the way down to the 27-yard line. Cy, who had 2 scores and 87 all-purpose yards in the first half, nearly got a third of that on one run.
Well, the gain gets him over 100 on the game with 2 touchdowns. Proper rolling right, shot over towards Briggs this time, just out of reach. That was a play that we saw earlier on in the half that they were able to complete, but a hold called it back.
Yeah, that definitely was one that Coach Bloom wanted to get back. This one right here as well, he wants to get back. Pretty decent pass there from Proper, just, again, a little bit out of reach from Briggs.
7:26 to go on 2nd down and 10. Blue Devils still up by 3 scores, 24-6. Under center goes Parker. Moves Briggs into motion. The freshman in action here for Danville. Giving it off to the sophomore. Up the seam, breaking a tackle for his 3rd touchdown of the day. Zoom Wallace showing off the wheels tonight.
And that right there just completes a hat trick for Cy Wallace. Definitely having himself a game tonight. Kind of taking this Danville team on his back and carrying them.
Great job by Cy Wallace staying up on his feet, use those legs to kind of churn his way through. And when you don't have the size of, say, an Aiden Burke, you just use those legs and just keep churning as long as you can until they rip you down.
Yeah, he is not a big running back by any means, but he's just one of those players. He's small, but he's amazingly strong. And with how fast and agile he is, it's just hard for anybody to really keep up with him.
2-point conversion. Look at this play. Ball spills on the ground. but they will say he broke the plane first. 2-point conversion for Danville. They are 4 for 4 on those now as Ashton Spalding called upon makes the play.
Bit of a close call there. Spalding almost lost the ball just a little too early, but the ref said he broke the plane right before the ball came out.
There's 7 minutes to go in the third. It's 32-6. Danville with the lead. We'll take a break.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
And we're back. Onside kick here right off the gate, but they cannot get it. Oh, no, there's still a scramble for the ball, and I think Danville believes they have this ball.
You see Cy kind of motioning, saying that's Danville's ball, but the refs are going to give it to East Knox.
Well, you're going to get a nice little look at this. Let's go ahead and fast forward just a little bit. We're a little late getting out after break. Apologies for that, but, man, a golden opportunity. They almost had it, and then the roll around. And I don't know how East Knox gets that football.
I don't know. Danville had somebody on it as soon as that ball crossed the 50. The ball kind of squeaked out from his hands, and East Knox, I didn't see who came up with it, but
we have a pub first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. I'll give it onto the ground. Boyd breaks through a couple of really tight holes, and he gets right to that first down marker. This is an impressive run from a sophomore that is going to be taking the reins the next couple of years. I mean, just look at how he's able to get through numerous areas where he should have been brought down.
Yeah, he should have been brought down about 2 yards in the backfield. Danville not able to get a hold of him. That was just a strong run there by Boyd, who really kind of had to fight for every bit of yardage he got on that play.
Landon Boyd, 19 carries, 78 yards last week against Centerburg. He'll give it back his way. Boyd, another solid run inside the 40. Gets a clear first down. Now, talking about Landon Boyd, young star for this team. He's going to take over in these next 2 years. He's not Blake Elliott. That's kind of what the summary that we're getting, but he's a young guy, and he's going to get a chance to build out that frame, and we're seeing kind of the sparks of potential this kid has.
Yeah, I mean, 19 carries for 78 yards last week. He's already 5'10", 175 pounds. He's only going to get bigger, stronger, and faster. Coach Beatty's going to use him a lot, hopefully kind of turn him into a little bit of Blake Elliott, if not better.
Quick drop back for Lester, shot down the field. Nice first step out of East Knox. They get it inside the 5.
Hauled it in. What a great catch there by Logan Clark, his so far #1 target tonight.
The pub first down after another long completion. They're going to Logan Clark often tonight, and he's connected twice on those deep balls.
Yeah, I believe that's his 6th or 7th target to Logan tonight. Obviously, Briggs able to break up those first couple of passes, but so far this second half, Lester able to make the connection work.
Jackson the shotgun, Boyd to his left. They're going to go that way. Boyd trying to find the corner, that much there. It's not going to be a loss for East Knox, but not too much to gain here.
Landon Boyd brought down by Carson Proper.
Carson Proper with the tackle for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, it looked like it was just an outside counter there for Boyd, trying to hopefully squeak into the end zone. Swallowed up almost as soon as he gets to the line of scrimmage there by that Danville defense.
32-6, East Knox trailing. They're going to add another score to the board. They've had a great third quarter. Already scored earlier in it. Lester, quick throw, going right to one of his favorite receiving targets as Cam Muncie gets a few, maybe 1, 2, we'll see.
And Nolan Ridgway right there, as soon as the completion was made, able to wrap him up.
Looks like maybe 1.
Yeah, it looked like he might have gotten down to the 3. I think that's, looks like that's where the ref spotted him down at.
So it was a good looking play. It doesn't get much yardage. Third down on that far side hash. Goal to go with 4 minutes to go in the third. Boyd up the middle looking for the end zone. Still waiting for a signal. Now we get it. Touchdown.
I thought he might have had his knee down at the 1 before he fell into the end zone.
We'll get another look at it here thanks to OhioHealth. But the Bulldogs, as of right now, make it a 20-point deficit, 32-12, as Boyd keeps his feet up. Yeah, just barely kept that knee above the ground.
Yeah, I think the ball might have just broken the plane right as the knee was coming down. But huge score there by the sophomore. And East Knox has got a little bit of something figured out on offense.
2-point conversion on the way. High snap. Lester has to go back for it. Dives on the football. Ends the play. 2-point conversion. No good. But let's go back to Logan Clark. Logan this year, coming into today, 25 catches, 409 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season. A lot of that load came early in the season, but here he is peeping his head back out.
Yeah, with over 400 yards on just 25 catches throughout the season. That right there just goes to show how much Lester trusts throwing the ball to him downfield. He's obviously the deep ball threat for this East Knox offense. With the 4 scores adding to that, you got to wonder if maybe Coach Bloom might be moving the defensive backs around a little bit or sliding a little bit of extra coverage that way, because so far it's worked in the second half, throwing it to Clark deep. Maybe Bloom might be trying to figure something out to try to kind of force them to go elsewhere.
Carver Stevens going to get the football to kick it away again. We saw Danville with an onside kick after their touchdown. Wonder if we see the special teams for East Knox counter with something similar, especially with the hole they find themselves in with 4 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, you could definitely see them trying to get the ball back to get a little extra points. You see a timeout there from Danville. Looked like they might be having some personnel issues.
And I can hear the coaches from all the way up here. They are not happy with those Danville players on the return team, making them drain a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been Chris Mosier, might have been the missing man for that Danville return team. But I think they have it figured out now.
Shout out to a couple more comments on our Facebook. Amy cheering on the Danville Blue Devils, as is Marianne, and Deb Steinmetz cheering on those Bulldogs here tonight in our Facebook chat. As the number's sitting at about 300 plus watching here tonight on the OH Report, which I kind of came in today, Peyton. I listened to the Buckeye City Gritty podcast, which is something that Danville does, and they were talking about having the OH Report, having a WMBO. It's nice, but it doesn't beat being here. So seeing those lower numbers means that there's a lot of people out there, and there are tonight, and they're taking in Devil Dog the right way.
Yeah, the maximum capacity here in Tough Street just a little over 3,000. You see East Knox trying to onside kick of their own.
And that goes
and
9
it stops
yards.
right at the 9-yard line. Looks like it might get to the 50, but
that is heartbreaking for East Knox, as that just misses. As I think East Knox had it covered too, because they had blockers down the
field. And really, that was the perfect situation for East Knox. They had 3 or 4 guys in front of the ball, pushing the return team back, and they had another two kickoff team members there to recover it once it hit the 50, but ball took a little bit of a Danville bounce to avoid the 50-yard line.
If you don't know the rule, ball needs to go 10 yards down the field on an onside kick for it to be recoverable by East Knox. If it is not, it is a penalty flag, And I can't remember if it's going to be spot of where the ball landed or if they're going to move it up 5 yards. But nonetheless, regardless, Danville gets great field position, and it looks like they're just going to go right at that spot.
Yeah, that's not something you see super often. I couldn't remember what the ruling for that specific rule was, but
spot foul. 5 receivers for Danville as they lead 32-12, and Proper's going to take it himself. We saw this speed against Fredericktown. He's going to do it again. Touchdown, Danville.
That right there looked like maybe not quite a trap play for the quarterback, but that was definitely a designed run from the get-go. You see Owen Gronberg pulling there to the left and sealing off that edge. And Proper just had nothing but green in front of him.
It's a new element that they have instilled into this freshman quarterback. He was throwing dimes for the first couple of games as he got the starting job for this team, but ever since these last couple of weeks, they've started to put him on the ground. He had 9 runs last week for 82 yards and a touchdown. I mean, we're seeing this kid develop before our very own eyes, and he's got 3 years to go. There's a flag. It looks like offsetting penalties. And it should still be a touchdown as it was after the play.
Yeah, I believe it was 2 unsportsmanlike conducts, one from each side. And, yep, touchdown still stands for Proper.
2-point conversion, 5th touchdown of the day for this Danville offense. We'll see if they can go a perfect 5 for 5 from 2-point range. Proper with the 49-yard touchdown run as he sits in the shotgun with his former quarterback, Nolan Ridgway. No motion this time. It'll be a pass play. They're going to take a shot down the field over to the far side. Briggs Wallace a little bit too high for him. And this will stay a 38-12 game. We'll take our break, come back live and free here on the OH Report.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
Welcome back to the 69th Devil Dog game here live and free on the OH Report. Danville with a 49-yard touchdown run from their quarterback, Parker Proper, to make it 38-12. A solid return from East Knox, goes to about the 35. But one of my favorite things here at Tough Street is the PA announcer, Paul Vess, loves to give a shout-out to the blockers down the field. Owen Grodberg got a special shout-out. You see him at 54, gets a great block right there.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago that linemen didn't really get much credit. Even just 10 years ago when I was in school, you never heard any PA announcer or broadcaster really kind of highlight the linemen quite as much as they are now.
We've already given a shout-out to Wade Nisley, who helped Cy Wallace on their first touchdown today. Lester with a throw down the field looking for Clark. That will not find the target. That'll make it 2nd down and 10. But another thing I wanted to point out, Proper with the 49-yard touchdown, just a freshman for this team. There's a lot of questions about what happens in a year where Danville goes from last season going to the Final Four to now they sit just going to be able to scrape into 500 range in the regular season. What can you still look forward to when you have that low of a drop down. Well, it is these young kids that are starting to play fantastic, and it could set them up for more runs in the future.
Yeah, it's definitely the underclassmen that's going to carry this team in the future. You see Lester kicking out here.
Dakota Cooper wrapped up at the 35 quickly. 11-on-11 crime. Aiden Mickley the tackle.
And just a quick pass there to Cooper, trying to get him out into open space, and Aiden Mickley just right there to make the play.
I mean, a lot of these names we have mentioned outside of Nisley, who's a senior, like thinking Wallace, both of them, Cy Briggs, Parker Proper. Someone else we just talked about was Owen Gronberg, who had that lead block. They're all going to be back next year.
Yeah, Danville's got a lot of juniors out there, so next year's they're going to be looking for that to be their year. But even the sophomores and freshmen really kind of stepping up and filling a lot of those holes that they've had this season.
Lester drops back to pass, has to escape a pocket. Crossbody throw. This will be short. Ridgeway was in the area as this was intended for Cam Muncie. And this will be luckily a 3-and-out. But it is, yeah, the punt team's going to make their way out, 38-12.
Hey, so Chris Mosier there and Ashton Spalding with the QB pressure there, forcing him out of the pocket. Looked like Lester was just trying to kind of look for something downfield to keep the drive alive, but good all-around coverage by Danville.
Snap to Carver Stevens, one of the top punters in the KMAC. Takes a couple of skips over to Cy Wallace. Already 3 touchdowns today. He's got a burst of speed to the outside. Just the punter to beat, and he does get to him. This will be a shoestring tackle with the 15. Wallace nearly at his 4th touchdown of the day on the ST. But a great trip up by East Knox. Turns into still really good field position for Danville, but the Bulldogs' crucial stop, that would have made it a running clock.
Yeah, number 24, the junior Wyatt McDowell, just 5'9", 175 junior, able to make the shoelace tackle there to save the touchdown.
Well, I remember seeing a comment from somebody in our block below cheering on Wyatt McDowell. Well, there's the play to cheer on.
Early in the live stream on YouTube, we saw a comment for Wyatt McDowell, and
made a big highlight right there for East Knox. But in the red zone are the Blue Devils. Silas Miser back in as a fullback. Saw him get a 2-point conversion earlier in the game. Proper dropping back. He will toss it away to his big fella. Nolan Ridgeway turns the corner, and he's going to be in for his 2nd touchdown. No, they're going to call him down at the 1. Not even the 1. That's the half-yard line.
Yeah.
There's a
questionable
flag.
Spot there by the ref, but another flag in the offensive backfield.
Well, I guess if you're Danville, you could take it as, well, we didn't get in the end zone, but it wasn't going to matter anyways.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a holding call. The referee there talking to the offensive lineman there for Danville. Number 58, Carter Whittle, the sophomore, looks like he might be getting called for the hold. Another one of those underclassmen for Danville. Hasn't really gotten a ton of playing time this year, but filling in as a starting right tackle here tonight.
So Whittle sitting over at right tackle. Proper, the tight end, will move to his right in this formation. 1st down and 20 after the hold with 2:17 to go. Danville leads 38-12. Wallace up the middle, hit hard. Looks like about a 2-yard gain. So that time, we see East Knox able to kind of wrap up this shifty Wallace sophomore as, I mean, it's starting to turn into the same story we saw last week when we watched East Knox play Centerburg. It was just the Trojans being able to explode off of a great offensive line work and just blocks that left gaping holes. But I think this week it's different because we're starting to see Cy become the one to make the plays rather than his blockers.
Yeah, his offensive line had a decent hole opened up there. Silas Miser able to squeak through untouched, but it kind of collapsed in on
Got a flag here. It comes from the secondary. Be a delay of game. So, yeah, that secondary judge looking right at the play clock over by the scoreboard across the way. Noticed the delay of game through his flag. A minute and a half to go. It'll be 2nd down and 23. That's the second flag on this set of downs on Danville.
Yeah, Perper taking just a little too long to get his offensive unit there up to the line of scrimmage. But again, on that last play, Silas Miser just kind of went through the line untouched, and then everything just collapsed on Wallace.
Watch out, one of the favorite targets in the game for Parker Proper, Cam Horn near side. Oh, it's just a decoy for Siren Wallace. Wallace, he's going to shove off another. It's a 4th touchdown today. Make it 44-12. Run that clock. Danville's got 4 scores from their sophomore.
Yeah, that right there, everything kind of opened up there. That offensive line making another gaping hole big enough you could drive an 18-wheeler through.
I love it when you say that.
That's something that we always heard from Coach Honebarger. I definitely get that from him from my playing days. But Cy Wallace just kind of walked right into the end zone there.
44-12. What a statement. This is a bigger statement than that state Final Four team made last year against East Knox. 2-point try. They'll throw it over to Wallace, who gets hit hard before he even makes a catch, and there's a flag.
Blue Devils try for 2 is no good. We do have a flag on the play.
The flag was thrown towards the offensive line, however, so not sure if this is going to be a late hit call on what would be Jax Lester.
One of the referees looked like they were running towards the Danville sidelines, talking to one of the linemen. I couldn't tell who it was, maybe Whittle, possibly Nestle.
But you see the flag where it was thrown. It was right around where the linemen were in the trenches.
Maybe something was said during that last play.
I don't think that would have been the case because they threw it pretty much right after that play was over. See what the call is. Picking it up. Nope, it's going to be personal foul on the offense, so it does not matter. Danville does not get the 2-point conversion. It's 44-12. It'll be a running clock here as we get the kickoff going momentarily. Danville still in their huddle. But the Blue Devils with a win today, and with how significant it has been in a win, if they hold on, of course, here in the 4th quarter, they will be in the tournament, no question. It's going to be whether it's home or away because they're kind of in that fringe area.
Yeah, and I think that just kind of depends on where some of the other teams in the region fall with their final regular season game tonight. As you see the ball getting moved clear back to the 25 of Danville.
And so the far side returners for East Knox are going to go all the way up to the 30. Well, Logan Clark now backing up to the 25. We'll see if it even gets to him because Wallace went short last time on this onside attempt.
I think he'll for sure go deep. It's just a matter of how much leg does he actually have to get the ball downfield.
We'll see the freshman Briggs Wallace try to do it. And nice line drive. Hits off of Ellswick, who has to dive on the ball at the 31. I mean, that's a pretty good boot. Doesn't get too high in the air, but it has the distance.
Yeah, pretty decent kick for the freshman. If he's able to get some air underneath of that, that'll be a dangerous kickoff for Danville in the next coming years.
So East Knox back on the field. The pub first down. I want to take a second to thank all of our sponsors bringing tonight's Devil Dog coverage. Shout out to the Bottleneck Bar and Grill right here in Danville. Also Knox Public Health, Mazza's and the Pub. Mazza's in Mount Vernon, the Pub in Apple Valley. Also OhioHealth, the Killbuck Savings Bank, Knox Community Hospital, and Rural First. Lester looking down the field. This ball taken away. Aiden Mickley with the interception, and he's down inside the 25.
And another flag at the end of the play.
So Mickley gets the pick. Nice return yardage, too. The flag, as you said, was thrown late, so it's likely going to stay with Danville. But their starting field position will likely move back unless the words were on East Knox's side.
Yeah, this goes back to the keys of victory that I had at the beginning of the game. Both teams needed to keep their composure. Obviously, there's a lot of emotion being shown out on the field, but these boys, it looks like they're just doing just a little too much jawing in front of the refs. They got to learn to hold off on that. Just let the scoreboard do the talking.
That is called on Danville. So it's the double penalty. So it's going to go back 30 yards.
It's definitely not the field position they were hoping for after that big interception there by Mickley. But, again, Danville has got to learn to let those little chip shots that East Knox may be throwing their way go. Bloom here, you see having a conversation with his team, telling them exactly that same thing. You have to learn to let these things go. You're up 44-12 on East Knox at the end here, close to the end of the third quarter.
I love this. I love everything I'm seeing right here from Coach Bloom. You're up 44-12. The game's getting a little chippy when it absolutely does not need to be, and he is growing into those kids.
Yeah, he's got to do something, and that's something that Coach Bloom's always been good about, getting these boys back into the field of focus here where they need to keep their priorities at. Kind of looks a little bit like classic Nick Saban on the sidelines there for Alabama.
Well, Coach Bloom, coming into East Knox many years ago as a history teacher, wanted to get involved in the football team. He was able to talk to the superintendent at the time and get involved, become an offensive coordinator, and work his way up to being the head coach. He's not from the area. He's a Canal Winchester grad, a former Indian. He was a left tackle for them, went on to go to Ohio University, not to play football, but just to study, got into coaching, went back to Canal Winchester, worked his way up there, got the teaching job, again circling back to here at Danville, and he has made himself quite the coach as he can now call himself a Final Four coach.
Yeah, Coach Bloom, very young. I mean, he's only 27 years old.
Yes,
already leading teams to the Final Four, even in small school football here in Ohio. It's a different aspect coming from the big school like Canal Winchester, but Bloom has definitely embraced every bit of it.
Proper dropping back to pass. He had a big rushing touchdown not too long ago. He's going to try to do it again. He does not get to the original line of scrimmage. He will lose one. They make it 2nd down and 11 on the 45 of Danville. Another thing that I was about to get into something, but clock has ticked all the way down to the end of the third quarter, so we got to take our break. 44-12, Danville with a nice end to the third quarter as they lead it big over East Knox.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Back in action right away. 2nd down and 11. Jailbreak screen for Wes Payne, who looks to have gotten 1.5 yards. It is his first catch since week 7 against Cardington as the senior makes it 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, tripped up there shortly after making the reception there by Logan Clark. Bringing up, like you said, a 3rd and 8. Able to pick up, I think they gave him 4 yards on that.
So 3rd and 8 on the 48. Under center, Proper will hand it off to the big fella. Nolan Ridgway already has a touchdown today. Breaks it to the near side, and he is taken out just shy of the 30 down the field for Danville.
Ridgway showing off a little bit of his speed, but there's another flag on the field down towards the line of scrimmage, and it's another holding call on Danville. You see all these.
This is the strife that Danville is going to have in the postseason. They've got to clean up these flags.
Yeah, Coach Bloom obviously a little upset there on the sidelines, kind of venting a little bit there to the referee. But again, like you said, going into the postseason, possibly getting a home game after the win tonight, they got to get these flags cleaned up because that cannot happen in postseason play.
6 seconds to go here in the play clock as Danville rushes to the line. They'll give it back to their fella as Ridgway finds a way through a bunch of East Knox tacklers right to the first down marker. They're 2 yards shy of it, and that should make it 4th down and 2.
And that right there, making up all the yardage lost in that penalty.
Running clock here in the 4th quarter, 44-12 in favor of Danville. And we will likely see them go for it here in this go-for-it range, as I've gotten to observe Coach Bloom over the last 2 seasons. His go-for-it range anywhere, once you get into enemy territory, he's pretty much going to go for it every single time. And it works again. Ridgway past the 40.
Ridgway there just kind of powering through to pick up the first down there for Danville. Following his lead blocker, Ashton Spalding, who laid down a great block there to open everything up for him.
You see Ridgway on your screen. Talked about his kind of evolution earlier on in the game. If you missed it, he was the quarterback for this team up until week 5 when Coach Bloom had to make the tough call to let him be the second back to Cy Wallace, as we've seen Wallace out for an extended amount of time, and no one has gotten some play. Play action, Proper, shot down the field, near side. They're going to Mickley. He catches it inside the 10, takes it to blue turf.
Mickley kind of having to fight for that one. Great coverage there by, I believe it was Case and Fawcett there for East Knox. We'll see here on the replay. Proper just kind of leans back into the throw and just kind of tosses up there to Mickley.
It's been a complete performance for Danville in this Devil Dog game. They've got a 50 spot on East Knox. Proper, you see him there getting high fives from his team. We'll see a 2-point try. He'll stay off the field for this one, and Ridgway will take over. Running clock under 8 minutes now. Trips far side. Ridgway all alone in the shotgun. Be careful. Carson Proper right next to that center thought he might shuffle over and take the snap. They'll instead stay with Nolan, and he'll pummel through for the 2. 52-12. It is a 40-point lead. What a show tonight from Danville. We'll talk about it when we come back.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
And welcome back. 7.5 and counting. As we see another kickoff here from Briggs Wallace that'll roll out. Hasn't had too much success going towards the sideline today, so that'll be another flag. Move the Bulldogs up the field. So we talked about Danville, and off the air we're kind of talking about, man, is Danville back? Are they back in a 40-point lead over East Knox? I mean, they have a favorable path in the tournament when they reach it, because this is a region that wasn't great last year, and it's not the greatest this year except for the very top with Hillsdale. So depending on the seeding, Danville, of course, it's a little early to start talking about this, but they could be looking at some rhythm here tonight that they could take moving forward. Jax Lester will hand this ball off for a modest 2-yard gain. But Peyton, give me your thoughts on how Danville's come out tonight. They're up 40 points. Not even the state Final Four team was up this much on East Knox.
I mean, they definitely came into this game ready to play. They came in excited. They came in pumped up. Coach Bloom definitely said the right words there in the locker room before the game, which coming into the Devil Dog game, pretty much any coach for Danville or East Knox knows there's not much that needs to be said going into this game. There's not a lot that they need to do to help hype these kids up. If they do need help, like Coach Bloom said last night on the Buckeye City Gritty podcast, there's something wrong with you.
Another shot down the field, this time Kason Fawcett just out of his reach. We'll have 3rd down and 8 coming up. Just got a couple of score updates. Centerburg with the shutout win in the Freddyburg rivalry. I believe it was 36-0 over there at the Freddy's Nest. Also, Mount Gilead with a convincing win over Cardington. And this game, of course, along with the Northmore game going on over at the Castle, are the final 2 games in the KMAC season. Northmore leads 41-19 over Loudonville. And, of course, you're watching this 52-12 beatdown from the Blue Devils here in Devil Dog as we see Briggs Wallace go down. It looks like he may be cramping here in the secondary, but I do want to put out a light flex. I, this year, decided to start doing some KMAC pick'ems just on the side, just a little bit for fun. It's in my notes app. This will be a perfect 28-0 pick season for me.
Now, is that just KMAC
just
games
KMAC
themselves?
Games. Just KMAC
that's definitely a heck of an achievement. Even if you're just doing it yourself, that's pretty good. Pretty good prediction for the season.
But I think it's interesting because I want to contrast. I wish I would have done picks right at the start of the year before we kind of figured out these teams, because I'm pretty sure the teams I would have picked just looking through the schedule at the start of the year and what I ended up going with throughout each week, completely different.
Oh, I'm sure it definitely would have.
Lester, high snap, going to take it, collapsing pocket. 3 Blue Devils heard him down as he takes a shot down the field on 3rd and 8. That's incomplete. We'll see 4th down. Clock running close to 5 minutes left here in the 4th. Like East Knox going 1-9, I definitely would not have picked. But it's honestly not a knock on East Knox because they have so many quality losses this year.
Yeah, they've been in just about every game that they've played. You said 4 losses by under 10 points. It's not that they're a bad team. It's just things quite haven't gone their way. They haven't been able to finish drives and get into the end zone quite as much as they should have been. But again, they're not a bad team by any means.
4th down and 8, and Lester nearly rocked down. He stays in the play. Another great 4th down play from East Knox. They get a completion. Hersenberg can't stay up. He is 2 yards short again. That's nearly identical to the 4th down we saw not too long ago.
Yeah, he was hit hard there by Jacob Byers, who made the initial contact on him. It looked like he may have just short-armed the tackle, didn't quite get his arms all the way around him. And we know how Lester can be, how dangerous he can be with his legs.
So that's going to go back to Danville in a 52-12 game. But going back to the 1-9 talk with East Knox, it seems like there's always one team every single year in the KMAC that they have a record that is inexplicable to many eyes that know the KMAC well. And I thought that Mount Gilead Indians team squad was that way when they went 4-6 with the schedule they had and how well they played that year. And then they proved it the next year going 9-1.
Yeah, they've definitely really turned things around there. Coach Beatty, I think, is going to be able to do the same thing with this East Knox team next year because of the experience that his boys are getting.
Direct snap to Wes Payne, and he's going to get some yardage here as the seniors on senior night are going to get some special carries with 3.5 to go. I remember this game last year, senior night, not against East Knox. I believe it was against Fredericktown when they played here. And all those seniors got their special final plays at Tough Street. And it's different now because last year they knew they were going to be back at Tough Street. Tonight, they don't.
Yeah, it's really a toss-up on how the rest of the region ends up with their games tonight. It's definitely a good possibility that they could still play here next week. We see Wes Payne in at quarterback.
He's going to take it, run it to the left. 10 linemen were lined up for Danville on that last play. This ball goes past the 35, and
like there's
this
another
will be
flag.
It was going to be a first down, but there is a flag. So
another hold.
Blue Devils probably going to try to hurry up back to the line because they got to get their seniors out with their send-off, and they're running out of time with 2.5 to go.
Yeah, it's nice that Coach Bloom is trying to make sure that every senior is getting in on this last few minutes of the game. I remember going back to my senior year on senior night, we played Lucas here. We were number 1 in the state in Division 7, Lucas number 2. We ended up winning 41-0, so a lot of us seniors didn't even play much in the second half. Didn't play at all in the fourth quarter, I don't believe.
10 seconds on the play clock. Another shotgun formation. You see 10 players on that line for Danville. Payne takes the snap, goes directly to his left, follows his blocker in Ridgeway out of bounds past the 45. And as these final 2 minutes roll on down, just want to shout out some of these seniors that could be playing in their final game at Tough Street. Wes Payne, of course, the last couple of carries. Also Carson Proper, the senior tight end. Ashton Spalding, another tight end for this team, got a 2-point conversion today. Landon King, star linebacker for this team. And then also some linemen, Wade Nisley, Caleb Fehrenbaugh, and Billy Hood.
Flipping the line of scrimmage here, giving the ball off to Landon King, number 57.
And there goes another senior getting that carry on 3rd down and 9, and he gets 1. And I want to shout out Brandon Powell, gave me a nice note as we were just kind of talking about these seniors. Wes Payne getting these snaps. This very game last year, he was carted off the field. And it's so special to see him get back out. And he ended up being fine. He ended up coming back in the postseason, playing a couple of games. But bittersweet moment for Wes as he leads the offense out on the field with all of these seniors with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, I believe he was out maybe the first week of playoffs. But other than that, he was able to come back and have a great postseason. As you see, the Danville seniors kind of giving each other some last high fives, some last hugs for their possible.
Well, it's always perfect because Coach Bloom has one final timeout, and he uses it right here.
That's right here. He's going to take these seniors off to the side and kind of give them a little special moment between them and the coaches. These kids they've done so much for this program the last 4 years.
Let you take in the moment, picked up our crowd mic, as all these seniors get a good pat on the head from Coach Bloom. And after the timeout, this clock will roll. And the 69th edition of Devil Dog will come to a close. Zeros on the clock. It is a 52-12 win. Win number 45 for Danville in the 69th Devil Dog Classic, and it is a running clock win to make it a 500 season for the Blue Devils.
A huge win tonight for Danville. These seniors definitely are going to enjoy this win tonight. They're going to celebrate with their team in the locker room. They're going to celebrate with their family during the post game. Congratulations to this Blue Devils team. Congratulations to this East Knox team. They gave up a good fight pretty much all year long. Unfortunate that they went 1-9 on the season, but Jax Lester really kind of showing out all season long. Congratulations again to him, over 6,000 all-purpose yards in his career.
So some great careers on both sides, especially for East Knox, come to a close here at Tough Street in a 52-12 win for Danville. We'll take a break, come back, and give some analysis. And your MVP tonight, Cy Wallace, will join us upstairs here on the OH Report.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
And we return for the post-game show presented by Knox Public Health. You see the trophy in the top left corner of your screen as the Devil Dog Trophy stays with Danville for a fourth consecutive year. Got to shout out the seniors I mentioned right at the end of the game. They go unbeaten against the Bulldogs, and it leaves a star in Jax Lester for East Knox without a Devil Dog win, which is kind of stunning to think about.
Yeah, this is the first senior class since 2017 that Danville has been able to go 4-0 against East Knox in their high school career. Definitely an emotional win. It's a happy win. They're going to be celebrating all night long and into tomorrow. Going to be riding that high a little bit into next week. Disappointing loss and end of the season for East Knox, especially for that great senior class that they do have, being led by Jack Lester, who have really kind of put everything into not only their careers but to this game tonight.
Shout out to the other seniors as well for East Knox. Carver Stevens, Logan Hersenberg, Alex Anderson, Aiden Riggle, Miles Mitchell, Blake Steiner, and Landon Davis, who have stuck through it through some rough seasons, especially this one here where they end 1-9 and with a 40-point loss to a rival. Bulldogs, we've said it numerous times, much better than their 1-9 record. Tonight, though, it just seemed to all come crumbling down as the Blue Devils are starting to finally get back in shape, and with a playoff berth basically clinched at this point, who's to say that they couldn't keep it going?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have a lot of momentum, even though they lost the last couple of weeks to Centerburg and Fredericktown. Both really good teams. Centerburg just kind of ran through the conference this year. But picking up this big win against East Knox, again, like you said, with just a 1-9 record, their record doesn't reflect how good this team actually is. So the fact that they win by 40 points tonight is definitely something to celebrate for the Blue Devils.
Well, we're going to show you our next football broadcast. You may notice that graphic is empty because we got to figure out where everybody's playing. It's going to be exciting these next couple of days to find out who gets buys. It's very different with this playoff format. Who's going to get buys? Who's going to get to play next week in Week 11? I'm excited to see how it all breaks down as we fill out this upcoming matchups graphic here in the next couple of days at the OH.REPORT. Danville looking like they could get a home game, and we could be back here at Tufts Creek Stadium. Let's go ahead and show you that bracket one final time, as just informing you now that this is very different. It is not going to be this way, but coming into today, Danville was the 10 seed, and with a win like this, gotta feel like they could get into that top 8.
Yeah, they're definitely making an argument for themselves tonight, especially with a little help out from Lucas, who had, I would assume, a very handed victory over Crestline tonight. We don't know the final score of that game, obviously, at least not yet. But Danville definitely given the OHSAA a little bit of a headache tonight, trying to figure out where they're going to place Danville in this final the final polls of the end of the season.
Well, I see Cy Wallace on the bottom right of the screen. He's about to make his way up here to the press box to chat with us, so we will take another break here, live and free on the OH.REPORT. We'll be back with our MVP tonight, presented by Mazza's. It is Siren Wallace, the sophomore, with 4 touchdowns today.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy, questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
It is time now for your MVP tonight on the OH Report, presented by Mazza. Cy Wallace joins us after an explosive 4-touchdown day. You end up with 180 total all-purpose yards, 153 on the ground. Just take me through. Devil Dog, it's your second experience with this. You got a big win over at Chatlooney, even bigger one here tonight.
It's awesome. You know, the hype before this game, I mean, it was probably the most excited I've been all year, and just being able to have it here at home and seeing it packed out like this, I mean, it was really great, and the emotions were flowing for sure.
Yeah, so and then take me through your performance today. O-line made some great holes for you.
Yeah.
You were able to get out of a couple of nice, tight East Knox pressures, and it just felt like everything was thrown at you tonight, and you had an answer for it all.
Yeah, the O-line really opened things up today, and then that allows me to get to the second level and just try to make something happen.
All right, and then tell me about the rest of your guys. Of course, I believe we had you up here for senior night last year, and I got to tell you to reflect on your seniors, but this is a whole different group.
New group.
Yeah, and
it's a
how
great
much they
group.
bring to you guys.
It's a great group. There's not many of them, but they're all good, and they all come in and put in the work every day, and great role models for the program.
All right, Cy, now moving forward, it looks like postseason is going to be there for you guys. And the question now is if it's going to be here or if it's going to be elsewhere.
Yeah.
Regardless, what's practice going to look like?
It's going to look like guys getting ready to go and try to make a run again. That's what we're going to try to do.
All right, absolutely. Take a look into that camera. Give your shout-outs. Look forward to seeing you again.
A lot of shout-outs tonight. Shout-out to my family, everyone that shows up. Shout-out to the seniors tonight. Shout-out to my O-line for opening things up for me. Shout-out my cousin Nick. Shout-out my girlfriend Avery, and also just give all the glory to God, as always.
I made sure to give you plenty of time for those shout-outs. Congratulations, Cy. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
And that is a wrap here tonight of our live and free coverage from Danville High School. Senior night, a success for the Danville seniors. They go 4-0 against East Knox. I want to thank every single one of you for watching here live and free tonight. I'm Jonathan Langdon, Peyton Colopy to my right. Any final comments?
No, just congratulations to Danville on the big one tonight, and congratulations on East Knox putting up the fight that they did. It's a shame that their season went the way that it did, but unfortunately that's the way the cards kind of fell this year for them.
Brandon Powell, your camera operator tonight, seeing all of the special festivities before the game on your screen. Also, shout out to our sponsors bringing you this Devil Dog coverage: Bottleneck Bar and Grill, Knox Public Health, Mazza's, OhioHealth, The Pub, Killbuck Savings Bank, Knox Community Hospital, and Rural First. Have a great rest of your night. We will see you for some postseason action next week. Also, stay tuned. Friday Night Pigskin will break down all of the brackets as Joe Idle updates them throughout the rest of this night.